Ninja Gaiden 1, Ninja Gaiden 2, Ninja Gaiden 3. Cruising USA. Wow! No!
Perfect old YouTube ending.
Wait. I don't
So
understand. I understand. Why Update Day, Nirvana the band, the show? Is that the group?
Yeah.
They call themselves Nirvana the band, the show.
They're Nirvana the band, and their show is Nirvana the band, the show.
Okay,
and
they're
their movie
Nirvana,
is Nirvana the band, the show, the movie.
Okay, so they're making a movie somehow.
They've made a movie.
Two dudes who just did that thing made a movie.
Yeah.
What have they
pretty
been
good.
doing over the years, right?
They
What
had
else?
a show on Vice.
Okay.
He one of those guys, didn't he direct the Blackberry movie?
Yeah. And that
Oh,
was
right.
good.
Okay. So it was like a serious person. Okay, got it. I was going to say, because to go from we made a song about the Wii Shop music to we have a theatrical release for our documentary, I feel like we missed a few steps.
It's kind of like you. It's like, here's how to get the gun in the Division, and now you have a website.
I think it's a little different. Jake. Just a
I think
little.
it's very different.
That's
I
right.
think it's quite similar.
I think it's more like Timothy Chalamet having the, modern
controller
Xbox
review.
360 controller channel to being Paul Atreides. That is more like, I think that's...
I was going to
similar.
say to losing everything at the Oscars.
Uh,
Oh, they really didn't
Okay,
get
listen.
anything, did they?
I
Not a good.
don't
didn't watch
think
it.
he deserves the hate. I think he's just
No,
a dude.
I'm fine with Chalamet.
I'm fine with Chalamet. He's cool, I think. I think he makes he made the cardinal error of caring too much. And it looks like he's being
Got
annoying.
Austin Butler.
Is that what's that? Does he care as well?
Austin Butler was Elvis,
when you get stuck as Elvis.
and then his accent got stuck because he couldn't stop being Elvis.
Okay, that's a bit too much.
Yeah.
I don't think Chalamet is annoying like that. I think Chalamet is like a chill dude who just enjoys sports in his spare time. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't like to imagine what Austin Butler does in his spare time. I'll put it that way.
He doesn't look like he games ever.
Does not.
He's also in Dune. He's the
He is.
bald.
He's
He
the
is
Harkonnen.
Fade Rather.
Yeah.
Harkonnen. I really want to watch Toon again.
Yep. I'm ready. I'm excited for Discourse of June 3, man. It's going to be fun.
Speaking of discourse,
Here we go.
Can we talk about what's going on with this Lord of the Rings movie? What the
Oh, no.
Oh,
What is
I think we're going to
happening?
say, speaking of discourse, can we talk about Kojima's beef with Ralph?
Oh, I mean, we can get to that too. Yeah. Where do we start?
Yeah, the
Oh,
Lord of the
God.
Rings thing.
What?
Nobody wants that.
Nobody
Sorry,
wants this.
Stephen Colbert. I know you're a lifelong Lord of the Rings fan, Tolkien scholar. I know you've not got much else going on right now because of factors outside of your control, and your show doesn't exist anymore. But bro, no one wants to know what Merry, Pippin, Sam, and Eleanor, and whoever, what they did after Frodo went to the Grey Havens. No one wants to know.
No one wants this at all. No one
wants
seen,
Hunt for Gollum either. I'm just gonna put my line in the sand.
Man, okay, Lucy, can you actually tell us what this is, by the way? Because I feel like a lot of people may have missed this if they're lucky.
So Warner Brothers, in their infinite wisdom and reticence to let go of the just let Lord of the Rings go sail to the Grey Havens and live a peaceful life, have greenlit a couple more movies. So we already knew about The Hunt for Gollum, which is the movie set between Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, where Aragorn is hunting for, you guessed it, Gollum. That
Yep.
movie. Kate Winslet's going to be the female lead. And apparently, what do you call him? Ian McKellen wants to come back, and Viggo wants to come back, and
Ian McKellen is back. Viggo Mortensen apparently is not back. So
Okay.
good. Okay, thank God, Viggo. Thank God.
You know he wasn't gonna. Yeah.
No.
So what is this? What
Yeah, so then the new one that was greenlit or revealed this week is one that's been co-written by Stephen Colbert and Philippa Boyens. Philippa was a writer on the main Lord of the Rings trilogy of movies, and I forget who the third person is who's co-writing.
It's like
This
Stephen Colbert's
movie-
son. It's like a nepo thing.
Is it really?
I'm joking.
Yeah, I'm like pretty
no.
sure.
That's bad.
All right. And this movie is set after Frodo sails to the Grey Havens. Frodo and Gandalf and everyone. And it's what the hobbits did next.
No,
Because
I
there is
thought it was after. It's like their children or some shit. I thought it was like.
Oh, I thought it was.
It's Sam's kid.
It's like
Sam's
Sam's
kid,
kid
Eleanor.
is like going.
Oh, I thought Merry and Pippin was still there.
No, I think they go to like the Barrow Downs and stuff. Like I think there's an entire movie based on the Barrow Downs. I mean, like, I think that this is worse than even you thought. So
Yeah. Hang on. Let me
This
find
is-
the.
It's like
It's
Stephen
terrible.
Colbert should just do the Colbert Report again. That would be better.
but that's him.
Shadow
like
of the Past will come after Andy Serkis's The Hunt of Gollum. Oh no, hang on. Which follows a new adventure for Sam, Merry, and Pippin.
oh,
14
okay.
years after the passing of Frodo.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was like their. I read something about their kids, right? Was I wrong about this?
It's just Sam's
Eleanor
kid.
is
Yeah, Sam's kid is along
Sam's
for the ride.
got a bunch of kids, yeah.
Okay, right. Why? Yeah, no. I mean, no. I don't know if I have the energy for this. To be honest, I really don't know that I do. Like, anyway,
I was at least like vaguely curious about the hunt for Gollum, but I'm not.
The funniest thing I saw, I think, was on like the red letter media like subreddit. Someone was like, they looked at Sam's baby child that he was holding in his arms, and they asked, "What's her story?"
Yes, she has discovered a long buried secret and is determined to uncover why the War of the Ring was very nearly lost before it even began. No one cares.
Nobody cares.
I don't
Absolutely
care.
nobody cares.
I don't want to know.
This is
I
like
don't.
on the level of when they were going to make an Aunt May spin-off spy movie of Aunt May in her younger years.
Wait.
That was a
Marissa
real
Tomei,
thing.
Aunt May?
No, I wish.
Oh,
it was likely Sally Field.
I was in.
Which
I was all
also
in,
good,
man.
but-
Love a field.
I do too, yeah.
Love a
But
Sally Field.
yeah.
Fair
So,
enough.
wow, movies, huh?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Friends
Wow.
Per Second podcast. This is where we talk about video games. Am I hosting? I'll host.
Sure.
Let's run it. Let's run it,
Absolutely.
baby.
Wow. All right. Easy.
Yeah, so it's a busy week. We have interviews with two of the main actors behind Crimson Desert, and we played some games. So where do you guys want to
Sure
start?
did.
This is like a vibes-based episode.
I feel like first of all I should explain my situation, where am I? I'm in my house. Why am I in my house? It's because avid viewers will remember a number of years ago that my office flooded. Well, the good news is it happened again. It completely flooded, and it's like
God.
permanently KIA this time. And so that's it, man. It's done. And so now I've moved the office inside, and here I am. So it's fine though. It's comfortable. The lighting
a
is
lot of nice light. Nice
a lot
light.
of natural light here. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But I really don't like that because I really just miss being in a dark den. And I'm really not about all this natural light. It's very unsettling, to be honest.
Your office background, you look like it looks like Phil Spencer's home office.
Yeah,
It's like
true.
nicely
With
curated.
secret prototype products on my back shelf
Yeah.
there. So that is why I am here, and also actually in reference to Lucy's point about Kojima.
Okay,
So
here we go.
that was a fun thing that happened this week. I got a.
Ever seen someone catch quite a stray?
I know, right? I just woke up one morning and I saw all these like posts on Twitter like dunking on me. I'm like, what did I do? I haven't even uploaded anything, man. I was asleep. I'm like, usually when I upload something, I'm like, well, there's gonna be plenty of dunks tomorrow. But I was just like, I hadn't uploaded anything, man.
Yeah.
And then I saw this tweet that goes, it was from some Twitter user, and they say, because basically the original tweet was like, Death Stranding 2 definitely has the same magic as the first game. It's everything a sequel should be so far, right? So this person hasn't actually played through the game yet. And then someone else retweeted that and said, been trying to tell people this nonstop, but on release, people just took skill up shit at face value. I really wish more people made up their own minds instead of just parroting what a YouTuber says about a game. Retweeted by Hideo Kojima.
Hideo Kojima.
And the funny thing is, he retweeted this on his English account, and then he logged over to his Japanese account and retweeted it there as well. Man literally logged over to a different account to retweet that shit. You know what I mean?
Bro,
All right.
that is hating in multiple languages.
Look, he retweets A lot. Like when you're online, when he's online, just firing off those retweets.
He goes.
I think it was probably indiscriminate. I don't think he meant any ill will.
I don't think he like.
I don't know.
Wait, hang on. I think the real question, Ralph, is what's gonna happen to your display?
Oh, dude, the display stays. The love of Kojima
Okay.
is unaffected.
Good.
Yeah, look, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was that. Maybe though, because also I would actually really push back on the suggestion that like there is this dislike of Death Stranding 2.
Here comes Debate Club.
No. I'm saying like what I'm saying is that like everyone loved Death Stranding 2, man. Like it was a Game of the Year nominee. It sold really well. It's selling super well on PC. Extremely high reviews, both like critics and user scores, whatever else. So like I don't think that my perspective on it, because all I said was that I don't think it's as good as Death Stranding 1. I don't think my perspective had any bearing on the discussion around Death Stranding 2. This is like, whatever, man. I think, you know.
God forbid you, a professional video games reviewer, has an opinion on a video game that you are
Oh
reviewing.
boy. Yeah.
Here we go. No.
Here we
So I don't think that there is an issue with Death Stranding. I think it is almost universally loved. I think there are a subset of like Death Stranding 1 fans who are kind of like who are similar to myself. They still like respect the game, but they prefer the first one. But yeah, man. But Kojima, man, I gotta tell you, I'll be real with you. No one simped for fucking Death Stranding 1 harder than me, my dude. I was out there on the front lines with people giving that shit 6 out of 10. I was like, no, don't you dare. This is a masterpiece, man. Don't you dare. So Kojima, dude, just, you know, please look at my back catalog as well, Kojima. I will just say that. Okay.
Yeah.
Plumb the depths of my back catalog, right?
Also, come on the podcast. Talk about video games.
And come on the podcast, man. We'll talk it out. I promise you.
Demean yourself. Talk about video games. I know you don't like to, but
we'll be like, what have you played lately, Kojima? And he'll be like,
yeah,
nothing.
I like just Fire Emblem, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then he just watches movies. He plays Fire Emblem passively while watching a movie.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
The mobile version.
I was gonna say he actually plays the mobile game.
yeah, that's it.
Oh man.
So,
Well, I'm glad you survived that. That was rough. The other big thing this week was Crimson Desert Discourse. That's been a big thing. I've been playing quite a bit. Ralph, I know you have been as well. It's been a fun one, definitely.
Zero interest. I'm sorry.
And that is fine.
I'm going to be fielding you guys' questions.
Please.
Tell us why, though. Tell us why zero interest. I'm interested in this.
Kitchen sink. I'm not interested in it. I'm just
that.
not interested in that.
Yeah.
It's just too much. As I get older, I think I am just naturally gravitating away from everything games.
Jack of all trades, masters of none type
like,
things.
Yeah, and I was like, I was watching Max Blumenthal and our team play. I was like, yeah, I could see this. But at the same time, I'm just like, there's so much else I want to play. And so I'm just, it's just never... It's crossed my desk, but it's not,
It's crossed my desk.
Crossed
What are you, the fucking editor of Vogue magazine?
You've seen my desk, though. You know how much of a power trip I have with this desk. Cross my desk. We're going to push it to the next issue. Maybe that's a holiday game, but probably, I don't know.
With me, the whole thing, like, I feel like it took off a little bit when I started posting about it. And I said that the opening hours are not good. I really didn't like it.
You also had your little moment on Twitter.com.
People ran with that.
App.
But that was a fun... this is the stuff I like. That was like a fun conversation because there are some people that are like, absolutely not. If a game takes 8 hours to get good, I'm not into it. And that is completely valid. There's also an army of people, including JRPG fans, that would say,
I was going to say, have you played any JRPG?
Especially JRPG fans.
Especially JRPG. Yeah, that say, no problem. Sign me up. People have different tolerance levels. That's fine. You know, for me, I was glad I stuck with it because I hated it. I was like so pissed off and angry and annoyed at the game. And it's gotten updates and patches and stuff that fix some little early game quirks and stuff like that.
Did they fix the inventory stuff? I heard
Sort
that was
of,
a
some of it, yeah.
They've added a storage.
Yes.
They've added storage now, so you can at least dump stuff in your stash. But the core inventory that you're using is still absolute dog shit. Terrible.
So essentially, once I got past that hump, and I think it's going to be a different amount of time for a lot of people, but generally, I think it's like when you set up I'd say it's a little bit after you set up the Grey Mane's camp, and it depends on where you are, how long how long you dick around to get to that point. But a little while after that point, it started to really click, and I was like, okay, I'm hooked on this, and I've been playing ever since. And it's very much one of those like critic brain is like like all like that that chip damage for a lot of things, but then it's just like raw fun factor and like weird fascination that just keeps me playing. Ralph, where are you with this? Because I haven't really heard much of what you think other than the preview you did.
I think Crimson Desert is absolutely goated. I think it fucking rocks.
Whoa!
I think it is
Wow.
so excellent.
Wow, I didn't
fucking
expect
love
that.
it. I think it is the closest we've had to Skyrim since Skyrim.
Ooh,
I really mean
okay.
that. I think it is unbelievably good. I really think that. Like, I have been 60 hours in 6 days, and it's so
Socking.
it's poop socking, baby. That's right. It's so busted in so many ways. It's so ridiculous. It's so stupid. Like, it's a stupid game sometimes.
Yes.
But it is still just this intoxicating freedom and sense of discovery and like just surprise around every corner. 60 hours, man. I have not been bored once. That's the truth. I haven't been bored once in 60 hours, you know, because it's just always throwing new shit at me.
Yeah.
And I think at first it kind of feels like, kitchen sink. You're like, oh, there's so much here. They're just throwing it all in. But eventually it starts to coalesce within this like different design syntax. And this is a different open world design syntax. And that's why this is interesting, because it's not a Ubisoft game. It's not, you know, Ghost of Tsushima or whatever else. It's not The Witcher. It's not anything like that. It's also not a Bethesda game. Like, it's its own weird, fucked up thing that is, because you are trying to figure it out as you go, you're trying to learn the rules of not of just this world, but like how these game makers think about an open world and how they think about puzzles and how they think about combat. And like all of that work, that interface with them trying to like decipher their design intent is so fascinating to go through, because we've had like 20 years of these sort of open world games at this point, and to come up with like a genuinely new feeling template, I think is like very impressive. I think the last time we saw a really new template with what this was like Breath of the Wild, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously this is very different to that. I'm not saying it's the same level of quality as Breath of the Wild, because I would not necessarily attach the word like quality to this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but I would never have attached the word quality to Skyrim, if you know what I mean. Like, just because something's really busted, but it doesn't stop it from being the best thing ever, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't stop it from being fun.
Oh,
So
totally.
I've been offline about this, I guess, would be the phrasing. Who are you? What are you doing in this game? What is it?
Kliff.
You're John Desert.
You are John
Kliff.
Crimson, and you are what? Okay, so the story of this game, dog shit, terrible. Just
I was going to say, this
so
is where
bad.
I've heard it falls apart a little
So
bit.
like, but again,
But it's fun.
the thing is, again, I come back to this Skyrim thing so often. What was the plot of Skyrim?
There was
Name for me-
racism.
The Imperials and the
Name
Nords
for me
and
one main character in Skyrim.
the Jarl of Whiterun.
Yeah,
Yes,
there was some of
exactly.
that. You kill some dragons. You have to
Totally,
kill all
right?
the dragons.
Now,
The
one of
guy
them
from
is-
Battlestar Galactica was in it.
Okay. Look,
One of the dragons was Optimus Prime.
okay. Yep. Sure.
Is that the same one who's Winnie the Pooh?
I don't know about that. Point is
Hugh
that
Cummings. He's one of these parts.
I didn't know that.
The other one was Mario.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Charles Martinet is one of
Oh,
them too.
wow, that's
Yeah.
so funny. Point is that like, you can have a great story, and I love games with great stories. And to be honest with you, storytelling
usually need it.
storytelling is incredibly important to me a lot
Yeah.
of the time. And, you know, I look back at some of the open world games that I've played and I thought, well, I think this is boring. If you had a really good story for me, I probably would have enjoyed this net. But the gameplay is not really working for me and the story sucks, so I'm out, right? Whereas I look at this and I'm like, I think the gameplay in the world is so fun and ridiculous and just cool that I don't really care that there's no story. And like, I think the easiest way to think of the story is basically just like, imagine if 10 different teams were making a game and different parts of it different biomes and different quest structures and different this. And then they all made their own thing. And then they somehow had to bolt them together at the end with a story. Like, that's how this feels. It feels like they just led with, we want to have a desert biome with like some deserty characters and some different whatever, and then just make up a story for that kind of works. And then they just gave that similar brief to different teams, and then they had to bolt it all together. So I would say that the voice acting is actually excellent. I would say, like, it's kind of a shame how good the voice acting is because the story is so terrible that you're like,
back it up.
It's like, imagine if these people actually had good lines to work with, you know what I mean? But Kliff basically just like kind of says, yes, okay. Like, that's his whole thing, man. He doesn't question anything. He doesn't question anything. He just goes along, and that's the whole thing. And like I said, the voice actor does a great job. We haven't had our interview yet with him, by the way, but we'll have our chat with Alec Newman and Alex Shorten after this. So the voice actors are great, but as I said, the story terrible. So no, do not buy this game for story. There is almost nothing here to enjoy on the story front.
It completely
Is it
sails
funny?
by.
No.
It is.
Oh!
No, I mean, it's funny when you're playing. Like, shit happens.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny when dumb stuff happens, and
When you RKO a guy off a mountain, you know? Like,
Yeah.
and then you-
Oh yeah, because you have like wrestling moves.
Yeah, yes, you do. Yeah,
You
so the game
absolutely
has the game gets by on like that fun factor, that raw fun factor.
For sure.
And you're absolutely right. It's that sense of discovery. It's what's around every corner. It's the complex, you know, and people argue the controls are like messy, but there is behind that a complex move set where there's some like player expression and experimentation. And I think that's just a really good combo for just giving a shit about gameplay and keeping it, you know, even quests, not the most crazy things sometimes, but it doesn't bother me. And that's usually something that I bitch about.
No, I mean, I think some of the quests can actually be fantastic. Like, there was this one siege mission where, because also what you should know about this game is that it's kind of like a Muso game, like a Dynasty Warriors game most of the time when you're doing combat. So like, and the number of enemies that are on screen, by the way, can get fucking crazy, and the engine does not have any problem with that. Like, this engine is unbelievable. It's truly like this. I don't know how they've done this. I look at some of the scenes that aren't playing out, and I'm just like, how is this possible? It's that level of like fidelity and that number of units on screen at one
The
time.
bug war too. That part was crazy. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
bug
Like, all
war?
the flying things, like the like, I'm like hallucinating. Hang on.
Do you mean like the harpies?
Those.
Oh, the harpies. Yeah, sure. No, yeah, that too. Yeah, there's just so many surprises. But yeah, point is, it's kind of like a Muso game, and there's sieges that you do where you'll go into this area, and there are hundreds of enemies all around. You kind of carve through them. But then you've also got like, you know, you've got to take down specific targets. So you're running around trying to find these towers, and then you clear out enemies around them, and then you literally like flash your blade up to be able to like focus the beam, and you set the tower on fire at its base. And then this tower starts to slowly burn while you're sitting at the base of it, still fighting off enemies. And eventually the tower collapses. All of the enemies that were inside it drop on top of you. And now there's another 30 enemies that you need to fight. And you're just hacking through them or whatever else. Another time, I was like, there was artillery backing me up. And so I was running around on horseback with a bow and arrow, shooting these special like targeting arrows at these things. And it was like in the pitch black dark, torchlight in the area, me running around firing off these arrows, and all of a sudden like artillery would sail in, just fucking napalm the area. It would look so good, and I was just like, this is the best game ever, man. I fucking love it so much. It's just moments like that where you just are really blown away by the spectacle and the fact that it's all actual gameplay. Like, there's a gameplay system for that artillery support. There's a gameplay system for the way that you're able to burn the wood of that tower, and the way the physics where the enemies drop on top of you and they will damage you when they land on your head. Do you know what I mean? Like, so many things like that are just so, and the puzzles are so weird, man. Like, the way that this
bizarre.
game approaches puzzles
I
is
looked
so
over at one
weird.
point and it looked like an animus type thing on screen, which I didn't quite understand.
Oh,
is that the puzzle stuff, or?
Yes, sort of. There's also others, and like, again,
There's
I
also
think
just the abyss itself, which is just this whole other disconnected-ish thing.
Yeah,
It's really funny.
Imagine the Zelda Sky Isles in this game for some reason, you know? And it's like, does it make sense? No. Does it add to the game? Sort of. But is it fun? Yeah, it's fun. You know, like, some of the puzzles that you're doing up there are really clever and interesting, but it's a very physics-driven approach to puzzle solving. I think a lot of the time with these open world games, we're kind of just like, yeah, we flip a switch and whatever. The closest analogy to this is Breath of the Wild, or Tears of the Kingdom, I should say, where you're like lifting up objects and slotting them in place and, you know, like punching them to power them up and all sorts of things that are very, again, physics driven. Can you light something on fire to make something happen? Or I don't know, like there's just, and so often I get stuck on the puzzles, you know, for sure. And I haven't been able to solve all of them. And then I look it up, for example, to get past it. And I'm just like, oh my God, how is anyone supposed to know to do that? You know what I mean? Some of them are really insane. But at the same time, I appreciate that weirdness. And I don't think it's a bad thing that sometimes we're forced to go online and ask for some help, because I think those interactions can often facilitate, you know, some other interactions with other players. You know what I mean?
It's funny too. There's like with how many things your character can do and how many things are in the control scheme, you often find yourself like kind of like not realizing, oh yeah, I have that whole other mechanic or ability at my disposal to even try and use right now. Like, so then you start going through your Rolodex sometimes. You're like, okay, can I try this? Can I use Ultra Hand? Can I use the Force? Can I use my sword? Can I use the Shining Blade? You know, like there's so much. There's so much.
As an example, there are all these like caves behind waterfalls, okay? And like in every other...
Good.
Figuring out how to get behind the fucking waterfall. Oh my God.
What?
Okay.
You can just go under it?
No, and that's reviewer stuff, man. That's stuff you with no guide, no guidance, man.
When you approach a waterfall and try and walk through it, you'll be like, ugh, and you like fall backwards like a fucking rock dropped on your head, right? And so then I spent so long trying to figure out what to do. I'm like, oh, maybe there's another entrance. You have to go in through a different way. And like, you know, maybe I force push it, or maybe I have to use a shield and whatever else. Turns out the way you enter waterfalls is by using a very specific combat maneuver where you like hold down 2 buttons to charge up an attack. And it sort of like pokes your sword. And so you kind of do a forward dash and you poke like through the water. And that's what gets you through cleanly. And this is what I'm saying. Like, this game doesn't have normal rules about how it approaches things like this. It's like, that's not natural for us to think about a solution like that, because when we think puzzles, we think puzzles. When we think combat, we think combat. We don't really imagine that our combat capabilities are brought to bear within puzzle solving scenarios. Do you know what I mean?
And I think that's like a good example of, because there's like 2 sides to that coin, where there's a lot of parts of the game where you're like, why is this like this? RPGs figured out some of these things 10 years ago, 15 years ago, like inventory. But then you have the other side of that thinking where they implement ways to do puzzles or get through things that you wouldn't think of doing in a normal game. So the rule breaking is really interesting.
I totally agree. And I love it for that. And I also think that like I think there's a tendency to think, oh, it's got everything, so all of its systems are really skin deep. And I really, really disagree with that. I have seen that commentary in other reviews, and I'm like, no, that's not correct, right? You know, there's entire, like I have this Greymane camp thing, for example, where I'm able to recruit members there and I'm able to send them out on jobs.
Send them out.
And when I'm sending them out to do things, it's not just like in a menu. Like I can then go and watch them do those things that I've sent them to do.
Oh, cool.
And
it's insane.
Like I can, in my own little camp that I'm building, I can harvest, harvest apples or whatever it is I'm growing. I can nurture livestock and like breed livestock so I can eventually like butcher them next. There's like a one of the gates that leads out of your livestock pen literally leads straight into a butcher, and so it just like cuts them up. And you know, there's an entire trade route system where you can load goods onto this like wagon thing and take it to other places to make money. And there's what else is there at the camp? There's just so much, and that's just the camp. Like that's just one gameplay system. Then there's like all the cooking, for example, which is busted in its own way that I don't want to bore you with now, because the boss encounters in this game are truly awful. I don't know how you feel about this, Jake, but like they're not good, right?
Yeah, a lot of them are bad.
a lot of them are very bad. And so you kind of need to crutch your way through it by just spamming food. Okay. So you will go into most boss fights with like 100 meat skewers on you. And this entire time you were just spamming meat skewers while you're soaking up all this. Yeah. I imagine like a fight in this game is like him swinging his sword because he's just like such a hungry boy. And then, but anyway, the point is that like, the food system though is very sophisticated because there's lots of different recipes and they involve you using specific materials and you need to then like farm those materials and use them in the right way. And it's just, again, there's real depth there. Mining and upgrading your equipment. It's not just like, you know, I don't know, find a new thing and the stats go up. You need to go out there and get the ore and you need to find the right ore in the right place. And then your equipment gets better very slowly. And so it feels very satisfying to see it like make these incremental increases rather than just picking up a weapon that's like 3 times as strong as the last weapon. And now, you know, you're instantly just KOing everyone. So
good progression overall. I love the skill tree. The skill tree is really good. And the loot too. Like when you do find loot, like, you're not getting endless like colored loot like that bullshit. Like you find something and you're like, oh, cool, nice. What is this?
Some of it's really hidden in places, and when you do find, it's really satisfying. And some of it's also tied to boss enemies, and it has like it's part of their story. And you get some sick sword that has a specific ability because they use that ability in a boss battle, and now that ability is yours. And there are dozens of items like this. So like itemization is a tick and progression is a tick. And the combat, again, there's unarmed combat. There's 4 different weapons to use. There's bow combat. There's like, and all of it is very functional and it all feels fantastic. I love combat. I'm still not bored of it after all this time. Yeah, you can just hold down R1 and you will win. That's true. No question. Okay. But if you also want to enjoy the combat sandbox and use the different moves and the different weapons and whatever else, you will win and have a lot of fun while doing it. And that's okay, you know? I think my one big criticism of the game are the boss battles, which I think I was playing this game actually pre-boss nerf because I did about 40 hours of the game before they nerfed the bosses and they were fucked, man. They were fucked. These
like
bosses.
Just really hard?
Like bullshit.
Like just bullshit. The amount of damage they would output, how quickly they would move, how much they would teleport around and flip the camera around, how much they would stun lock you.
They felt designed for a different game.
They 100% did.
Yeah.
I was like, this is ridiculous. And that's why you just spend the entire time like shoveling food into your mouth because you're just like feeding yourself through what feels like unavoidable damage. Having seen that, then they nerfed the bosses and immediately it was such a difference. Like the next few bosses I fought after that, I'm like, this is a completely different game, right? So they fixed that, or at least, but even then I still think the bosses aren't great. They're very messy. And I think you've got a combat system that's largely built around Muso style like AoE combat. When it tries to make you 1v1, it's not tight enough to really work, and it's not great.
And the lock on camera freaks the fuck out. Oh my god.
Oh, I was gonna ask. The thing is, like, I feel like I came into this segment being like, I know nothing about this game, but I have clearly absorbed from people talking in the office. I have heard the camera is shocking.
Shite.
But they also make it worse for themselves because every boss just teleports. Every single boss just teleports all over the fucking battlefield.
And the camera's like, whoa.
Oh, it's so annoying. But I don't care about any of that stuff because I am, like, as I said, 60 hours deep and I've just had the best time. And every part of the game that I turn my attention to, I find that there's so much more for me to explore within it. Like if I want to turn my attention to mining and upgrading my equipment, I could do that for hours and I will eventually arrive at a very good set of gear that makes me feel noticeably stronger in combat without breaking the game. If I want to spend a lot of time cooking, I will get a lot of really great meals that are going to make future boss battles better. If I want to spend time in my camp, I can tend to that and I could make a lot of progress there economically, or I can send my mercenary dudes to go out and clear bandit camps for me so that when I go through that area next, I get easier traveling time. If I want to do side quests to build reputation with people, I will encounter interesting like boss encounters and storylines and get cool loot for doing that. If I want to complete the main quest, it's full of all these really crazy set pieces and it's just fun. Or if I just want to like go to some direction that I've never been before, I'm going to climb a mountain and I'm going to look down and I'm going to think, holy shit, man, this is an incredible looking video game and it runs flawlessly. No matter where I turn my attention, I'm like very, very surprised and impressed by what this is. I think it's fantastic, man. I truly do. I think it's going to age so well. I'm looking forward to reading those like 6 out of 10 reviews in like a few years time, see how the perception of this game has shifted over time, because I think that this is going to age very, very well. I'm almost certain. For sure.
Do you feel like I had said when we talked about the preview that it did feel kind of like this generational leap, especially at least in terms of tech? How do you feel seeing it on PC and even running on consoles? Like it dips a little bit on PlayStation, but
yeah. I don't think of generations in terms of like technology, and like I kind of view like generations differently. I'm kind of like, I feel like, you know, Breath of the Wild marked a new sort of generation in terms of design, even though it was running on old hardware. Do you know what I mean? So do I feel like this is part of a new generation? I in a way, I kind of do, but for a different reason. I look at something like Clair Obscur. I look at something like Stellar Blade. I look at something like this, and I'm like, there is a new generation of game makers coming up who are making different games in different ways. And this definitely feels like one of those. You know, you've got your legacy Sony studios, you know, Santa Monica and Insomniac, and they're making a certain type of game. And you've got, you know, like your Xbox studios, again, they make a certain type of game. And I just think that like there's a new generation coming up and they're figuring out ways to make these really big, spectacular looking games. They're doing it on more reasonable budgets. They're not compromising on quality at all. Like they really feel like they're punching above their weight, and they're tapping into something. You know, I feel that with those 3 games, with Stellar Blade, with Clair Obscur, and with this. So, like you asked me, is it generational? I would say yes, but not in the way that you're describing. I think it's generational in terms of like the people making it. I would say that.
Yeah, that's a really good perspective. Totally with you. It is a weird, cool game.
Oh yeah. It's so dumb, man. It's the dumbest game.
It is dumb.
So dumb.
And I can't.
It sounds like it's like the Fast and Furious of games.
In some ways, yeah. You know, I gotta say
that
that
the family, the core of it.
it does not.
It definitely does.
I'm out.
The funniest thing. Sorry, go, Jake. You go.
I was just gonna say it kind of has the heart of like helping people. Like ultimately, it's like these gray man guys seem pretty nice, and like they're focused on like, you know, kind of like helping people and doing stuff.
Yeah. But I think it's also funny because like it's like getting the band back together, like because like everyone, they were all scattered to the winds, and there are all these quests where you go and have to like find, like chase a rumor down to like find your guy, and every time you come up to them, it's always the guys that you see are like, oh my god, Kliff, it's you're alive, and they all like spend the next 3 minutes like giving you hugs and shit, being like, I can't believe you're alive, man, I missed you so much. Repeat that literally 10 times. Do you know what I mean? Like literally 10 times doing that, you know. And I think that's one weird thing about this game is that I think it doesn't quite know its limits sometimes. Like it can land on really good ideas, but then it can just use them a bit too much or a bit too long. And some of the sieges can be like that as well. I don't know if you did the quarry mission, Jake, where like you had to clear out this quarry. Yeah. Bro.
It's insane.
It's crazy how long it's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I have so much affection for this game. I really do. I think it's like everything that everyone says about it is true in terms of how busted it is. But I also think that at the core of it is something like really special and creative and ambitious, and none of it's cynical, by the way. It's not just like they're like, oh, let's just throw the Breath of the Wild stuff in there because Nintendo did it. Like it's easy, I think, to park it in that way and think, oh well, but it's not, man. It's like they really were trying their hardest to make something cool, and it's awkward, but like it really does work, I think.
You feel passion, and I feel really. I really agree with that because I had come off of playing Where Winds Meet. I've referenced this before, but playing Where Winds Meet also has that kitchen sink thing where it's like, we're going to throw a million things at you. But with that game, it being like a free-to-play live service game, it just feels kind of cynically implemented and poorly implemented in some instances, where Crimson Desert, it just feels like passion and ambition and just like saying yes to everything in like a hyped up, amped up type of way, you know?
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing, right? These guys built this engine for this game. This engine is pretty remarkable, by the way, and it's going to be very interesting to see who licenses this engine afterwards and what they do with it, right? There's no microtransactions in this game. It's just, it's a box price. That's it, full stop. And you definitely could have made some bullshit. If Ubisoft put this game out, man, there's no way that all of the best items and all that sort of shit wouldn't be behind a cash shop. And there wouldn't be some, no, they just made this game because it's cool and they charged a single price for it. And, So again, I just think any criticisms or I would say I have seen questions around whether or not this is a serious thing. And the answer to that is yes. These people were very serious when they tried to make this thing. And I believe that they were making it for the right reasons. Like they really wanted to make a cool game powered by really cool tech. And I think they've absolutely done it. I really do.
And it's definitely found a player base. It seems it's doing really well.
Yeah, man. Like when you get some more bug fixes rolling through and maybe tidy up some of the quest progression stuff and like,
They've been pretty active on it. They've been pretty quick. Even like the first big patch, like what they changed, I was like, holy shit. Wow, you don't
also,
usually
like,
see
even,
that.
Like when it launched, the Steam reviews were kind of mixed and they're already winging the other way.
I think it's twofold. I think it's developers implementing fixes very quickly, and I think it comes back to like how I felt, where like I think it doesn't make the best first impression, and it gets better and better as you go.
I think the first 10 hours suck. They do, man. Yeah. They suck. They're the worst part of the game. Yeah. It takes a long time for this game to get going. And so if anyone wants to peace out before then, that's totally fair. I get it. You're right. You said it, Jake, But I think that if you do push through, there's something very rewarding awaiting on the other side of you. Like I remember just standing on a mountainside the other night, just like looking out, and there was this like city that was lit up by torchlight and red torchlight with sort of like in this desert biome, and I could see right the way over the entire landscape, and I was just standing there just being like, oh yeah, that is a feeling right now. Like
I want to go there.
Not many games can give you that feeling, and this game gives you that feeling very regularly. So yeah, dude.
I also think the loading screen, the starting loading screen is the funniest thing in the
Assassin's Creed when he like looks up at the camera like,
and it's like, oh, like it feels like you're ascending to heaven every time you load up the game. It's so funny.
Yeah. So
what a thing.
I really think that this is gonna leave its mark. I think that this is like, it's gonna get DLC. I think it's gonna sell a boatload over time. You know how like their stock price tanked 30% on the negative reviews?
The reviews.
It's already rebounded 30% because everyone's like, oh, wait a second, actually this rules.
People buying it.
This is really interesting to see because anytime we've brought it up, when we brought it up on the last episode, and since we brought it up in the past, even from like an SGF preview, we were both kind of like baffled by it, kind of like exasperated by it, and kind of like, it was kind of like a passing joke for us.
Yeah.
It's like, there's that weird fucked up crazy game. Let's see what that. So it's been nice to see like now getting the full picture of it, that it's pretty damn cool.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah. I guess one question I would ask you, Jake, is do you agree? Do you think that people should wait for this one to get some bug fixes and maybe a discount or whatever? Or are you like, nah, man, just head right in now and just whatever?
I think it's tricky. I think some people were just so obsessed and hyped up for this game, like they're going to go either way. But I'd say, if you're on the fence, I would say specifically this time, just because of how actively they seem to be listening and updating and changing, that you might get a significantly better game. Like I'm like, why'd you guys launch it like this with some of these things? So borked. But I would say if you're kind of on the fence, definitely. Also, the other thing, and I had replied to people with this, but you need to check out multiple reviews for this game, because I think people are going to have different reads on it. I mean, clearly, like some 6 out of 10s,
for sure,
some 10 out of 10s.
For sure.
It's a weird ass game, and you need to really make sure it's for you, because not only are you committing full price to it, but you're also committing a significant amount of time to it to even potentially punch through the part where you go, oh, maybe I do like this.
Yeah.
So it's definitely like a big do your research game, and I say that a lot, but for this one,
but I also feel like
really,
I mean, I also feel like the people who watch us are just like ride or die, just play everything or as much as they can. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so to this audience, I would say like you should take a punt on this game. Okay. And I would also say this. I worry that when they fix things, they're going to accidentally fix some of the fun. Okay.
Lose some of the quirks. That's
Yeah.
interesting. I hope not. I hope not.
So like there's some weird shit in this that's like when you figure it out, it's very satisfying. And when you overcome some stuff that's really annoying, you're like, oh, well, that fucking sucked, but at least I did it or whatever. I'm sure some of that will get smoothed out and patched out and tutorialized and whatever. I've really enjoyed playing this game in all its weird brokenness. I really have. I think it's been fascinating because you get to see what I said at the start, like that interface between their design intent and you as the player. It's at its most raw in this moment. Reviewers had it at its most raw before patch. And as I said, like you played, then I played 40 hours of it at that point. It was so busted. Okay.
Yeah.
But overcoming those bosses is like, well, I did it, you know, and I have that story now. And I think there's some stories to be found here in Crimson Desert if you suit up for it today versus suit up for it in 12 months time when it's been fixed. So my advice is, don't wait for sale on this. Don't wait for it to get patches. Just like take a punt on it and accept it for all its weird craziness. And I think you'll actually have a better time than if you came to it in 12 months and it was like, I don't know, more seamless or whatever. You know, that's kind of my take.
Yeah. I would say, to argue my point again, I think if you're the type of gamer that leans into the critical brain, you know, if you're hyper locked in on reviews, you like to think critically yourself, there's going to be a lot of stuff that might kind of trigger you and be like, nah, I don't like this. So, you know, definitely think carefully.
Go into lizard brain.
Yeah.
Go into smooth lizard brain.
How did Gamespot score? They gave it an 8, right? I think they gave it an 8.
She's loading.
Well, your reviewer like played it for like 150 hours or some shit, I think.
Richard Wakeling, I think.
Yeah.
He's the one that does the Breath of the Wild stuff, right? He's like the crazy Breath of the Wild player.
Well, no, that's Max. Max didn't review it.
Right.
Max did all like a lot of the video stuff. So Max is like, yeah, there are so many like to your point systems and everything in that game that he's having a hell of a time getting through everything. What did we give it?
I think it's an 8.
I think it's we gave Marathon a 9.
Yeah, Marathon's doing super well in the reviews. Everyone's loving it.
7 actually. We gave it a 7.
Okay,
right.
fair enough.
Yeah, I get it.
Narrative, quest design, inventory management, and healing system.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think that those reviews are naturally going to be lower because they haven't had these bug fixes come through, because these bug fixes did fix like the most critical pain points.
Yeah.
But I also think that like I'm very sure that this is going to age very well. I'll just put it that way. This is going to age very well. It has that kind of thing where 10 or 12 years from now, people are going to be talking about it the way they did, like, I don't know, fucking Lost Odyssey or some shit. You know what I mean? Like some game that like it just hits right. You know what I mean? It's like, it's kind of, it's a bit weird and it's different to what you expect. And it just hits in ways that kind of stay with you for a long time, you know?
I like that. I liked getting the surprise reaction. Like, I didn't know where you were going to land on this one. Legitimately. Yeah. This could have went either way. I was like, here we go. Let's see what Ralph thinks. So it was very fun to experience that. I was like, whoa.
No, I honestly, I was surprised myself because I read reviews and whatever, and I'm like, sounds a bit meh. But now I'm just like, no. I was also very skeptical of like the really high reviews. I'm like, how could you give it this score when there's obviously all of these issues? And now that I've played 60 hours, I'm like, don't worry about those fucking issues, man. This is the best game ever. Go out and buy a copy right now. It's so good. So,
when you're saying that, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, that's funny.
Hold on a bit.
Yeah. Wow. He's out here crimsoning his desert. That's great.
That's right. It's probably a neat segue to talk to John Crimson. Why don't we talk to John Crimson right now?
We have an interview with Alec Newman as well as Alex Jordan, actors for some of your favorite characters in Crimson Desert. So let's talk to them now. But first, a word from our sponsors.
This episode is brought to you by Raycon. Friends of the channel, long time, love them, love their support, and love their products. Their earbuds are fantastic, including their newly released everyday open earbuds.
Nope.
essential
Raycon's
open
essential
earbuds. It's the
open-
essential open earbuds. We're not doing another take, okay? We got it right in the end. The point is, it doesn't matter what they're called. They're good, okay? They're a really nice, comfortable earbud that actually don't go inside your ear. They sit on the outside of it. Jake, can you give us a demonstration, Jake, if you don't mind? Please, just can we just have one of our models? Oh, boom. There it is. Just easy on. There it is. You can see
No, I screwed it up. I wasn't ready.
Don't screw it up, Jay. We were doing this in one take, okay? There, just go straight on.
It's
Boom.
easy.
And
Boom.
so you'll
Quick.
see there, it doesn't
Done.
actually go
over
in
the
your
ear.
It just
Lightweight, comfortable.
That's right. It sits on top. It's really nice. Best use case for them is obviously exercise, because when you're getting all sweaty and shit, you don't want to have like, I don't know, a little piece of plastic stuck in your ear. So they're really great walks, running. I use them when I play tennis actually, and they just work perfectly. Great sound quality, but also great other features, right, Jake/Lucy?
Yes, because
Yeah.
they're open ear, you can hear what's going on. It's really nice. You know, Raycon has a lot of products, many that feature active noise cancellation, but with the open earbuds, I really like them for outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I like the fact that I can just have them paired to multiple devices, and I don't have to like
Yes.
repair them every time. I can just they're in. I'm on my phone. They're in. I'm on my laptop. Great. And they're
Handy
lightweight.
dandy, charging carrying case,
Yep.
just awesome. Fits right in your pocket. 36 hours of battery life. That's 8 hours of playtime and 36 hours of battery life. Quick, nice charge, easy USB-C, good to go.
Yep. They're really nice,
And
really
it comes in a
convenient.
variety of colors.
It does. Yeah. Yeah. So we have definitely been enjoying them since we got them a few months back. They're a regular part of my exercise schedule, my routines. So if you'd like to get a set, you can get one very easily by visiting the special link, which is what, Lucy?
I knew you were going to do that. You were slow enough. You can buy a pair of the Essential Open Earbuds yourself or a gift. Refresh your routine for spring. Go do it. Go have a go. buyraycon.com/friendsopen to get 20% off. That is buyraycon.com/friends at 20. Nope.
You got it. Just keep going. Just keep rolling. We got this.
buyraycon.com/friendsopen to get 20% off. Thank you again to Raycon for sponsoring this episode.
See, one take, baby. Easy. No problem.
One take.
One take.
It's Thursday night, live from
From your gamer den,
Everywhere.
Alex Jordan. Look at
My
this gamer
gamer
den
den.
you've got going on right here. Come on
I was
now. What is
showing it off
this?
to Jake before you arrived. I ain't gonna
He's
lie.
more gamer than
I'm
both of us
Very
combined.
proud. of this.
Absolutely.
I was saying as well. Do you know what's super gamer is that we're not on this PC right now. I've got another PC down here. This
Damn.
is purely for my gaming here.
That's very
That's crazy.
2018 of you, running two
Three
PCs.
monitors going on. I've got another mic here. I've got another mic here that is just at Yarndolski, like penis height. Like,
Nice.
yeah, we can say penis on this podcast.
I think we can do that. Absolutely.
Yeah, that totally works.
Peni.
They'll
many.
beep it out. They'll beep it out
Yeah.
in certain territories. It's
Yeah,
fine.
So for
Anyway.
folks joining us, we were originally going to speak to both Alex Jordan as well as Alec Newman, who voices Kliff, but Alec couldn't make it. So we just got regular old Alex, who at this point is like an
Regular old.
honorary member of the podcast. Like you're like a three-timer now? Three-timer club?
Yeah. Yeah. I'd
Something
like
like
to
that.
just start by saying that I didn't kill Alec. I haven't done anything here to, kind of like take this time entirely for myself. This
Sure.
is a totally innocent scenario and
Yeah.
situation.
It would have been fascinating to talk to him because he doesn't do many He doesn't do many games, does he?
Not as
He does
a
a
lead.
Variety of stuff. Do you know what?
Okay.
He did. Oh my goodness! Why is it gone from my head right now? The oil rig out at sea. The
Layers,
Oh, that one,
Layers
the
Deep.
horror one. The
game. Yes, Still Wakes the Deep.
Still Wakes the Deep. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
he
sure.
won a BAFTA for his performance in Still Wakes the Deep.
Okay, well, that's
Yeah.
serious business then. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
well, he's doing a really fantastic job as Kliff. As we discussed, though, everything we're going to say about this game, we want it to be like brackets affectionate. But unfortunately, a lot of Kliff's lines are just like, yes. Like,
Do you know?
that's
you know
it.
what? It's so interesting because the really cool thing about this game. So first of all, we recorded it at Side in London, who do so many video games, crazy amount of video games. And it was a really interesting one because the NPCs walking around, when you when you interact with them, they are all performance captured. Like pretty much, I mean, by and large, they're all performance captured, which is kind of wild. So often in games, you go up to NPCs and they're just kind of stood there and they'll talk to you. And then you go and do the thing. But there's so many things. There's like this child rolling around, kicking his feet on the floor and all this stuff. So when we were in the booth, you look at it and you go, oh, okay, there's like so much life in what they're doing. I can kind of run with this. So often you are working with a static character and you have to kind of go, right, well, I've got to give a performance that is believable for them just kind of stood here with their arms down by their side a lot of the time, you know, kind of talking, but casually doing this. But when you've got a character who's doing this and stuff, you can kind of like, you can really give it, you know, on the the gestures and all that stuff. You get to kind of run with it, and it's a lot of fun.
So does that mean that are they wearing like mocap suits, or is there other technology now where they can just sort of be filmed and it captures their gestures without mocap suits?
So by and large, everything is done with the suits on when you do performance capture. So we weren't doing the performance capture ourselves, but the studio over in Korea, basically they had done all of it, and they'd done it to, the challenge a lot of the time actually was that we had to kind of match Korean performances in terms of the amount of time they were taking to move a body part, you know, do this, do that. We then had to make the words fit to the gestures they were doing. So that's the challenging part. But yeah, so they'll be in the volume and they'll have the full suit on. The crazy thing now is everyone seems to have a different bit of kit. So we've got the HMC, the head-mounted cam. And that's the bit, you know, kind of sits here, you have it, locks into place with a little twist thing at the back and it all tightens up. But some studios still have all the dots on the face. Other studios, no dots. You just go in and put it on. Some studios, it's like you have to be clean shaven. And then I went and did something not too long ago. No dots. Guy had a beard on. Totally worked fine. Like, it's crazy. Like, the rate at which the technology is changing, and also changing dependent on the individual studios and their tech, because they could have their own thing, which they've made, their own software, all this stuff. It's really, really like, it's wild how quick it's coming on. Yeah.
So taking it from the top, so tell us, first of all, which characters you play, because I swear to God, every time I meet a new character in this game, I was like, I think that's Alex. I think that's him. I think that's him again. He's just putting on a lower voice. This one's a higher voice. This one's a different accent. So which are your main characters?
The ones that are like my main ones are Duane, who's one of the Greymanes. And he's a Scottish Greymane with this sort of, I'd say like rusted iron colored beard and hair, you know.
He's a bit of a dick.
Sorry?
He's a bit of a dick.
He's a bit of a dick. He's a lovable dick, I think.
Yeah,
sure.
Him and Jan are kind of like, you know, sort of like they bicker. They're kind of a little bit at each other's throats.
Jan is a lot, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know. As you play as you play more and more of this game, you really get to know Jan. He really stands out above all other characters. Yeah. Because he's just talking and yelling the whole time. You're like, Jan, just chill, bro. Just chill.
Do you know what the weirdest thing was, right? Was doing this, was having just played Jan Dolsky in the Altars. I then had to keep turning around and talking to a character called Jan.
Of course.
And then there was another character in there called Gian, who like, I was like, I played a character called Gian in Wuthering Waves, and I was there just like like listing off these names of other characters that I've played. It was weird. It was tripping. So I play him. I play Matthias, who is the knight, who is kind of your first real little boss interaction, and he teaches you the drop kick. And he was my first thing that I went in and did, because I went in and did the vertical slice like 2.5-3 years ago.
Right.
I was brought in to do that by a guy called Damien Goodwin, who directed me on the Altars. We came in, it was being shared between him and Mark Healy. Now, at the time, I didn't really know Mark Healy. I now know Mark Healy very well, because Mark Healy directed me for Dragon Age. So Mark then was like, yeah, come in and do this. So we did the vertical slice, and my role in that was Matthias. And he was a very kind of more sort of classic knight with the very well spoken and kind of sneering. And then
He was honorable though. He was
honorable. Yeah,
he was.
with the whole kind of like, well,
He took it like
Grey Man.
That's right. He took it like a
all
man
that.
at the end. Yeah.
But then we were brought back in when we were actually, the game was, right, everything's going ahead, the vertical slice, everything was happy, cool. I was brought back in to do Matthias, and then they were like, we kind of don't want the world to be that classically fantasy. Like, we don't want the whole thing of the knights speak very like this and blah, blah, blah. So there's an accent in the UK, which is called West Country. And, it's like more often considered to be farmer, kind of, bit like that. And we were like, what would it be like if there was a knight and he had that kind of gravitas, but he didn't have that like lordly sort of sound. So we gave him that kind of West Country kind of thing.
Nice.
Which immediately I was like, okay, this is cool.
Yeah.
They're taking the traditional fantasy world and going, but what if we just like subvert it a bit? What if we move it slightly to the left? And I was like, I'm down for this, man. I'm down for this. And then I play like so many other characters. You kind of like the guy who wants the crane being fixed. We have like so many. I actually have just received a message from Alec saying, I can jump on for 10 minutes, but I don't have my mic on a MacBook. Is that okay?
Fine. Just tell him to join. Just say a quick hello. Let's just do it.
All right, now we're here with Alec Newman. We got him. He's here. Thank you for joining us. To start, would love to know your first reaction being in a game that is now super viral. Everybody's talking about it. The developers just announced 3 million copies sold. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling like a bit of a Luddite, to be honest. I no longer. My last console was a PS4 that was much neglected.
Okay.
I have a 7-year-old, and that sort of took over. But I've been tracking what's been happening since Crimson Desert was released. Like people had problems with certain issues in the game, so they changed them. It's kind of like we made a movie and then people didn't like certain scenes, so we went back and reshot them. But,
Yeah.
It's been fascinating. It's been on and off with various periods of low and then very high intensity. Something I've been doing for 5 years. I've been recording various iterations of this character at various stages of development for ages. And in fact, for the first year and a half or so, it was just a demo as far as I knew. And I only found that out when, it was nearly 2 years into recording. They sort of said, well, we're going to start recording in earnest now. And I went, what the hell do you mean? We've been doing this for ages.
Wow.
So it was, in terms of recording, the gift that really did keep on giving. To be in... It was funny, when we were recording, people kept talking about this. It's going to be a huge title and this game's going to be huge. And, for me, that was a bit like being on a set when people are talking about how good it's going to be. I always kind of inherently distrust that kind of buzz. I've been doing voices for video games for over 12 years and I still feel like an imposter. I really do. Some of the chaps, Ben Starr and a lot of the other performers, they really have slid into a certain niche in this part of the industry, which I've tried to kind of wriggle into it, and I don't really feel that I fit into it. I still feel like a kind of imposter. It's very strange. But what I will say is, the roller coaster of being involved in Crimson Desert is very different. I did a game called Still Wakes the Deep, which got a lot of buzz, and I have a little golden statue on my shelf, which I was polite enough not to put in the background. And writing is key. It doesn't really matter. Games, telly, movies, certainly in theatre, songs, whatever. If the writing is there, you can really run with it. With this project, it was interesting because they I don't want to say they kept changing the goalpost, but we started off recording with cards of the different parts of Pywell, and then you remember those, Alex?
Yeah,
and then, various characters, and he's from this faction and he's from that faction. And I kept just saying, yes, but what is happening? You know?
Game development.
Yep, we know that feeling.
when Kliff, stopped being Macduff, which was a considerable amount of time into the recording of this. He was Macduff originally, which is hilarious because I played Macduff last year.
Okay.
That's great.
Once they settled on Kliff, I just kept pushing about story and character as much as I could. And I have to be honest, I felt the pressure of a certain type of developer with a certain type of game. I'm glad I fought for that stuff because you can tell when you read the reviews for the game that's come out, and you can tell when I speak to people. I spoke to some people today actually who are playing it and loving it. And whilst they love some of the voice acting and the characterization, the boon of this game is clearly the size of the open world.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that you can pick up a cat.
Definitely. That's always very important in most
big
video
feature,
games.
yeah.
That is to do with, I feel, the preferences of the developers and the people who wrote the scripts for these games, which kept changing. So at various stages, it felt very much like making a TV series where they kept moving the focus. And in fact, it's not a secret. If you look at the way that Crimson Desert came into being, they did move things around.
Which it's interesting.
Yeah.
With you, 5 years, you said you worked on this, correct?
Yeah.
So it's come a long way. It's changed. 5 years ago, can you recall like how the pitch went? What made you say yes?
And what made me say yes was I like the tone of the character. There is a sort of, there is a kind of, again, it's interesting reading people's responses. There's a sort of Witcher element to Kliff, but there's also a kind of sort of Viking element. And he sort of felt like a hybrid of a lot of characters that I played in bits of TV, and so I was immediately drawn to it. It wasn't any effort to think, oh, I'm not sure I want to do this. And I tend to, with games, if something comes along, you can be in the studio for 2 days having a bit of fun, or you can be in an ever-expanding process like this one, which ended up being nearly 5 years. But I like the world, and I like the tone of the character, and I came up with something very quick, which was sort of a hybrid of a family member's voice. And so I kind of accidentally tied myself into Kliff by mistake, almost, because I sort of identified a voice that was sort of a family member that they responded to, actually.
Right. And so you've talked about it being sort of a 5-year process. Did Kliff as a character evolve much during that time? Because obviously you talked about the script evolving and the focus, what have you, but was Kliff quite consistent right the way through?
Somewhat. There was basically, I think it's probably pertinent to talk about one bridge point. After a while, there's only so far you can go with him kind of being, sort of kind of not flat, but, kind of stoic, Now I know that as a Scotsman myself, I know what that means, but it's very, very hard to play 150 hours with somebody who doesn't give anything away ever. So what's been rewarding is that as people have played through over 100 hours, they've found bits of Kliff that do speak of something sort of more emotional sometimes. The whole Greymanes thing, after about 2.5 years, they decided they really wanted that to resonate, this idea of family and trying to bring something back together. I think that's the main story strand of the game, or the only story strand of the game when you begin it, I believe, not having played it. And so that was the bridge point. I don't want to say they started panicking, but they were like, oh yeah, we really want this. We really want Kliff to care about his comrades. And I said, well, he does, but you haven't written that monologue.
Sure.
So we brought it in gradually, and wherever we could, we attended to it. Wherever we were given something that could be slightly humorous, we tried to bring that out. But I'll be honest, those moments were fewer than they could have been.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think, and my hope for the game is, and it seems to be happening, as people spend more time with Kliff and they spend more time in the game and in the world, they kind of live in that level, of his existence. If you will, sort of.
true.
I've been reading and hearing a lot of people going, I didn't know what the hell this was when I played it for the first 8-10 hours, and now I'm 200 hours in and I can't stop turning off.
That's me.
The 8-10 hour mark has been a big thing. Like,
Sorry about that.
The magic number 8. You've been
yeah, I hit that. Yeah.
So it's fascinating. It's been fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah. And so scanning the results, I mean, the response. So Alex, for example, how have you taken in the response to the game? Because I think it has been quite an astounding response in the sense that the game comes out, very sort of unexpected reviews. The share price of Pearl Abyss drops 30%. And then a couple of days later, it's back up 30%. And then the reviews have changed and the Steam reviews are going through the roof. And there's just so much positivity. How have you taken all this in?
What's really interesting is, as someone who is a gamer and is close to the sort of the cultural goings on within the gaming world, right? I was so familiar with this game, and I was familiar with it when first working on it, and familiar with the whole perception of people going, what is this game? Because it seems to be everything. It seems to have everything. So what is it? So then working on it and kind of realizing, going, okay, cool. So fundamentally, it's an incredibly expansive sandbox that you can pretty much, if you can think of something, you can do it. You want to go get lost up a mountain for 8 hours? Cool, great, go
Pick
do
up
it.
a cat, pet a cat.
Pick up a cat, yep, absolutely.
Carry a cat up a mountain for 8 hours? Cool.
Breed cats.
Go do it.
Like
so
Pokemon.
I was super aware, right? And then it was so interesting because I could see all the conversations going on, and I was looking and going, I know what this is, but I can't say anything because obviously you're bound by NDA, you don't want to give anything away. So I was fully expecting the exact response. I knew very well that the moment it came out, there would be a 5 to 6 day period where everything was up in the air and people were just trying to figure out what was the game, but fundamentally what was the game to them. Wow. Like, everyone can have their own version of the game depending on what they want to get from it, right? It's one of those, like, certain games you play and you go, right, here you go. Here's a very much a linear narrative and you're going to be guided through this. If that's your thing, cool. Here's an RPG and you can kind of like, it's an immersive sim. You kind of have RPG elements, but it's not totally RPG. Or you go, here's Baldur's Gate 3. Be evil, be good. And I knew that this was going to take a little bit of time for people to kind of figure out, because some people would be going, well, that's not what the game is for me. Someone else would be going, but wait, hold on, you're doing that? You've got the, okay. So I wasn't surprised at all in any way. I was surprised by the share price drop, I'm not going to lie. Because I always was like, nah, man, this is going to sell copies. This is going to sell so many copies. There's fundamentally just the hype that was around it before. Then it's going to be the conversation around it in this moment. But then I think it's a game that is just going to keep selling copies as people really discover and find out that it's one of those ones where, like, the more time you sink into it, the more you get from it. That's the kind of game it is. So as people continue to play it and they become those vocal advocates for the game, going, hey man, I'm now 100 hours in and I can't believe it's getting better and better. Like, the things that I have uncovered and discovered in that 100 hours mean that I'm just getting further and further into my enjoyment of this game. That's just going to sell more people on the game. So I think I was surprised at the share drop. I'm absolutely not surprised at the rise again afterwards, because
when
it was always
going to buy your shares, Alex.
When did I buy my shares? So I bought at the dip. I bought at the dip.
Nice.
We got him.
Basically what I did was I just put out a few messages. I was like, I literally just sent a few texts on some burner numbers saying sell now, sell now.
That's right.
Like that.
Dumb.
Yeah. It's actually the opposite. It's a dump and pump. You know,
Okay.
it wasn't. Yeah.
Very clever.
Yeah.
It's all the rage right now, I hear.
Yeah.
So, Alec, for you, I mean, you taking in this success, what are your reflections? And do you have any plans to play the game? Because as someone who only has an old PS4 laying around, you know, you're going to sort yourself out. What are you going to do?
I don't know. I find it's a question of time, and also I'm a very impatient gamer, and I suspect that vibe is not going to click with Crimson Desert.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Definitely
I
not.
love the idea of I do love the idea of picking up my old my button thumbs again. I was always more of a FIFA guy, which I know is irritating to real gamers.
No judgment here, man. Come on now.
I'd love to have a go. I'd sort of like to play it on a PC because I think I am aware of the sort of I don't know if people who play these games on PCs are slightly snobby about it, but I get the impression that it is a superior experience if you're into PC gaming. That's really where it's at. Yes, thank you,
Alex, let's build them one.
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
100%
Let's
correct.
build you a PC.
Yeah, we're gonna build you one. Let's do it.
It's so weird that I'm not a gamer because I just try and apply what I do whenever I'm doing what I do in whatever medium. And I sort of learned by mistake how to intuit what's required in recording for gaming, in gaming sessions, I like the idea that this is kind of the equivalent of an art movie. You have to kind of watch it twice, and there are no subtitles, and it's in a foreign language. There is something that I get the sense there is something vaguely kind of art house about people going, hang on a minute, let me play for another 150 hours and see if I can. I get it. I got a lovely message from an actor friend of mine who I didn't even know was a gamer. And he sent me a picture. It had been published in some magazine, and he went, "Dude, I'm not sick of your voice, and I've been playing this thing for over 110 hours." And I thought it was. He's such an unlikely gamer as an actor, and I won't name him. That I thought I'd been scammed or something. So I rang him, and he was playing the game when he answered.
Right.
Oh, that's great.
But what he said was great. He said, I wasn't sure about this in the early going, but I absolutely love it, and I love what you've done because we spend all this time with that voice. So yeah, it's not a wham bam, it's not cyberpunk. It's the polar opposite of Still Wakes the Deep, which I was involved in, which was a kind of, it wasn't just yellow paint. You walked through the game. You could only get through one way, I understand. Not that I played it. Crimson Desert is something entirely different. And it's kind of exciting because it sort of still hasn't been fully released, if that makes any sense. It's still kind of growing its own legs.
Yeah.
It's true.
And this thing of Pearl Abyss continually patching, what are we, nearly a week after release now, is mental. It's mental. It's like they're consistently in the cutting room with the movie,
I mean, some of those patches, the speed at which they were just like, "Here you go," and you're like, "Hold on, what?" But that was like literally talked
speed
about yesterday.
It's I mean, I guess some people, I read an article, some guy was like, "Oh, I'm already missing the original released version of the game."
Nah, I don't know about that, to be honest with you. I those changes, they were for the better.
Yeah.
But I suspect that you'll both be back in the recording booth a lot over the next couple of years because I suspect that this game's going to have very long legs. Pearl Abyss have already said that they want to do other content for it. And obviously, both of you will be integral to that. So I'm sure we'll hear plenty
you've
more
got
of
other
your
characters
voices.
as well. The Damien and Unka playable bits.
Yep.
That came in fairly late.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, we want more of them, definitely.
Halfway. So there's you're certainly right. There's plenty of directions they could go in to fill out.
Yeah.
There's probably 8-9 characters that you could really fill out. Multiplayer stuff. I read something today. They were talking about that. So who knows? But it's been a very singular experience so far. I've never known anything quite like it.
Yeah, and Alec, just to end, I know you said at the start, like you feel like an imposter coming in here, but gamers care about the work and your voice, your performance, from this, but also, Still Wakes It Deep. Like the work is what we care about, and you're doing a great job.
Thank you very much.
You're a gamer. You're a capital G gamer.
Yeah.
Careful now, Jake.
Send me a free PS5 or something.
Listen,
Polamis, I swear to God, Polamis, send this man a PC and then you stream your playthrough of the game, right? You stream it from start to finish. That is the best marketing dollar that would absolutely crush. Trust me.
But here's the thing, right? Pearl Abyss will be watching. There'll be Sony. If you're watching, someone from Sony will be watching.
Yeah.
If you've got a PC, let's get him a PS5,
PS5 Pro.
No, EA will send you FIFA. They'll do that. Don't worry. But no, look, thank you both so much for joining us. We really do appreciate your time. Congratulations on the success. We really do love the game, and we're very sure that the more people play it, the more time they put into it, other people will love it as well. So thank you again for joining us. Congratulations.
This episode is brought to you by HelloFresh. Look, nothing hits like home cooking, and HelloFresh makes it super easy to do more of it this time of year with recipes that feel good, taste good, night after night.
Yeah, and the amount of choices you have, 100 recipes every week. You get, cuisines from all around the world. You got heavier stuff, lighter stuff, nice, fresh, delicious food that can help you beat the winter blues. That's a big thing. And with me especially, sometimes I don't like thinking about cooking. And, either, a lot of times you buy ingredients, then you don't get to some of them. Some of them might go bad in the fridge. HelloFresh makes it easy. Whether you're new to cooking or you're experienced, it shows up with all the good ingredients. You're good to go. Perfect instructions. It's an easy recommend, honestly.
Yeah, and with bigger portions, you're guaranteed to get a real good filling meal. And there's over 35 high protein recipes each week. There's like Mediterranean, GLP-1 friendly options, and seafood. If you're a seafood enjoyer like I am, it's all sustainably sourced, and the chicken is 100% antibiotic and hormone free. So that's the good stuff.
Yeah, they're like doubling down on the seafood. There's now 3 times the seafood for no upcharge. So you can really impress. I just love seafood. Sorry, big seafood enjoyers on this podcast. Look, because when dinner tastes this good, nothing hits like home cooking, man. So if you want to check out HelloFresh, go to hellofresh.com/FPS10FM to get 10 free meals plus a free Zwilling knife. That is a $144.99 value on your third box. That's a good knife. Offer only valid while supplies last. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. But again, just go to hellofresh.com/FPS10FM to get 10 free meals and a free Zwilling knife on your third box. Check that out, and big thanks to HelloFresh for sponsoring this podcast episode. We are back, and we're going to take a user question. All right. This comes from the email that you can send questions to, which is questions@friendspersecond.
I almost wish this was a bit. I wish this was a bit.
Yeah, I'm just that dumb. contact@friendspersecond.com. Thank you to those of you who have submitted questions. We're a little behind. It's been a while since we've done one.
We're very behind.
We are.
So we have like
a lot.
800.
Don't be bragging on here.
It's just not. It's nice. We had a really good one come in as we were hanging, as we were taking a break there.
I'd love to see it. This one comes from Brandon, who says, "Good evening, all." Oh wow, he got the time right for me at least. I love games like Lethal Company, Repo, and Phasmophobia. The genre seems to have been dubbed as friend slop. I find that to be unimaginative and lazy, but also insulting to players and developers. I do not want to play anything slop related. Surely we can do better than that, since we have other genres like Metroidvania or Souls-like. My buddy Blade thinks they should be called posse games. It still conveys that. It's pretty good.
They're already very popular on Steam.
God.
He continues. It still conveys that the game is usually fun because of your posse, aka friends. I'll happily accept anything without slop in hopes for a better industry term. What do you think, and what would you name it instead? Cheers from Brandon.
You know
would
what?
like.
We're gonna workshop posse games, and I think we're gonna pass on that one.
It's close. It's
Gonna
close.
get the not safe for work rating.
So he referenced other genres that have good names like Metroidvania or Souls-like. So what do we have? The names of the game in that subgenre title. So we'd have to get like Fall Guy-like.
No, because Fall Guys is not a friend slop though.
I don't know. Friend slop is new to me. Like
Friend slop is the
First
thing where you and a group of
friend.
people need to work cooperatively to complete very mundane tasks, and the joy
Like Among
comes
Us?
from like
So
no,
Among Us is frequently cited as the modern catalyst, although other games like Mount Your Friends existed earlier.
that's
Lethal Company.
social deduction. I feel like is a different thing.
Company.
What?
Company games.
Company games.
Co-gaming.
Corpo games.
homie slop. I don't know.
Homie slop.
Homie.
Okay, here's my take on this, right? I feel like calling them friend slop is actually the most endearing thing that you can call them, okay? Because it's got the word friend in it, okay? So it implies that you're playing it with friends. It has the word slop in it, but it's the way that you would like talk with a friend, be like, hey, you suck at everything. You're a fucking loser. Hey, this game is shit. Let's play it together. Let's go, man. You know what I mean? Like that's, I think, is one of the the highest compliment you could pay this game. Because you're just like, you know, it's like something that you want to do with a friend, and it doesn't really matter what you're playing because you're with your friend. And like that is something. Do you know what I mean? Like that's important. It
Yeah.
facilitates that kind of social interaction, and it's us affectionately labeling those games within that category because of the way that they're doing that job well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was really good. Here's my version. What if we have Souls-like? What if we had social-like?
No, this is terrible.
That
That's
sounds
the
like something
worst
Mark
ever.
Zuckerberg would say
100%.
before he invests billions and then shuts
Exactly.
down something.
I need $80 billion to make the socials-like thing happen.
The socials life. Oh my god. The Hangout Simulator.
I mean, Hangout,
like some shit like that.
Hangout sim is good. I think the word Hangout is also
Hangout.
is onto something.
A hangout game. You know, like I call things podcast games.
Yep.
Where it's like turn my brain off things. So maybe a hangout game.
A hang around?
Hang around? No. Definitely not. Hang.
A group up and get him.
No.
Like that.
A Groupon?
That already exists.
That's unfortunately. Does that still exist though? Did it shut down? I think it shut down.
Yeah, I think
does
it's,
it?
Nah,
it
people
was
are still
it.
using
I think
it.
it's still going.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
I keep learning about it still existing by friends who use it to cheap out on things, but like alarming things. Like my friend
You
got
could get a
LASIK.
lifetime license of Microsoft Office 24 for
My friend got LASIK eye
$19.
surgery, and he was so excited about it. And he's like, "Yeah, I got a Groupon for it." And I was like, "Don't do that.
Bro,
That's not
no.
good."
Of all the things I would get a Groupon for, I would not get it for plastic or, you know, any kind of surgery.
Yeah. All right, that was a good question.
So we don't have an answer though, and
No, there's no definitive.
There is no. I think Hangout something though is the starting point.
Call it a friends per second. Why not?
Why not? That's right. We'll just own that. Why
Not.
Just write us a check. Cut the check. Let's do one more. You guys good for one more question?
Yeah.
This comes from Matthew, who says, "Hey, friends gang. My question is inspired by Ralph's recent Interstellar mention. Have you ever had anything akin to an experience of religious awe in a film or game? When I saw Interstellar in IMAX theaters, I had calculated the exact perfect seat to see it in. I was so emotionally and sensorily invested in the film, with the giant screen filling my FOV and the massive speakers blasting our bodies with infrasound,
Hell yeah.
that when a certain character, spoiler, was falling into the black hole, I had a sort of existential panic attack. Yeah, this question's getting good. I was sweating,
Let's go.
heart racing, mom spaghetti. I had to look down at the ground to remind my unconscious that I was not, in fact, being pulled into a black hole. I am not at all religious or spiritual, but this cognitive state of awe is what our society refers to as a religious experience. So, again, my question, have any of you felt anything like this from a work of art or entertainment?
I can confidently say I've never felt anything akin to that in my entire life in relation to anything. So, like, my dude, you're really ahead of us already. So, no, I definitely have not felt that way about anything like a game or whatever, or really. No, I can honestly say, jokes aside, I actually have not quite felt like that. I don't think. Never in my life.
I felt something maybe not as strong as that. I've certainly come out of the cinema feeling very affected by something. So the three that I can think of, I remember seeing Avengers. What was part one? Was it Infinity War was part one? Then it was Endgame?
Infinity War, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the snap, because like being in the UK, we saw it early.
All right.
And also being at, like, I was at the media screening, and so genuinely people were just speechless. Like, people screamed.
Yeah,
when
you like
saw the
feel
snap for
that.
the
You
first
feel that in
time.
your butt.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, what?
So I'd say the snap, but just because of the shock value and how impactful Marvel movies were at the time. Blade Runner 2049.
Interesting.
Seeing that in a big theater with that score, that music, I love Blade Runner, so that really impacted me. And the other one, I would say the one that I had the biggest like empty feeling about would have been Oppenheimer, when the bomb goes off.
Oh, okay, interesting. So that got you, did it?
Because I watched that in like the big print. What'd you call it? Like in the IMAX. And yeah, just the sound work on that was. Oppenheimer is one of those movies that I never want to watch again.
Really?
Like, yeah, that Joker. Schindler's List, like all those movies where I'm like, really glad I watched this. I never.
You don't just pop on Angela's Ashes sometimes, just like in the background?
No. No, sorry, that's the movie I go to sleep to. No. Yeah, so I don't know, like but I wouldn't call it akin to a religious experience. I would call it like a big impactful moment that made me feel a little bit hollow, brackets positive or brackets negative.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing. Although Matthew also said, look up the psychological effects of infrasound. No coincidence that churches use organs, the instrument, to fill the churches with infrasound.
I will say music tends to do it for me. Good music does it. And like I'm a simple guy sometimes. Like I like my art house films, but I also love my brands. And the closest I truly feel to being alive is like seeing Spider-Man swing and like you have the score,
That's right.
the original Sam Raimi score, the Danny Elfman score.
Yeah.
That hits. Also
with Hero by Chad Kroger.
No.
That was
Don't get
incredible.
ridiculous.
Invisible Man.
Okay?
Sorry, don't hate on that.
Dulcie Scott.
The other like equally embarrassing, but like, you know what? I'm not afraid to admit it. Actually, this one's worse. Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Stick with me, okay?
No.
So obviously those movies, depending on the second one or the third one, whoever you are, the new Star Wars trilogy went downhill, right? But Force Awakens, the feeling of that movie, the entire movie, not knowing what to expect. Where's Luke Skywalker? The end of the movie, you finally catch a glimpse of Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker, someone you haven't seen in decades. I grew up watching the original Star Wars movie. I didn't see them in theaters, but like my first Star Wars movies were the original movies.
VHS,
Luke
baby.
Skywalker was my guy. To see him slowly turn around and reveal the triumphant, mysterious reveal of Luke Skywalker. John Williams' score is absolutely cooking. And he turns around and he doesn't look happy. Like, it looks like something's going on with this guy. And you're like, what is happening here? And you're so excited for the next Star Wars movie. And like
then...
all the things that could possibly happen with the franchise. And then You know,
things happen
I'm getting
with the
goosebumps right now
things
talking about
happen
it, but
with
it's
the
so fucking
franchise.
terrible. Yeah, but that moment, I will, and people, you know, people clown on, and people have rightful criticisms of Force Awakens, but that was such an incredible feeling for me personally that I'm still chasing highs
agree.
like that.
I agree. I think for me, I always get hit by the lighting of the beacons every time, man.
Oh yeah.
Every time, man.
Yeah,
Just
that's
gets
good.
me every time. I
Yeah.
can't not. But I would say in the world of video games, the one thing that stands out, I think that feeling more than anything else is actually in Outer Wilds. And like there's one moment, and I'm just going to spoil it because it's just like this is one moment, but it's one moment in like the whole of the game, right? There's a lot. There's one moment in a game full of surprises, okay?
Okay.
But like there's
I'll forget anyway. My memory's terrible.
like, it's not that big a spoiler either, but there is a moment where you need to. There is a comet that is like circumnavigating the solar system throughout your playthrough, and it takes a while to realize how all of this works, and eventually you realize that like, well, if there's a comet doing loops, I probably got to get on that comet, and then you have to basically steer your ship and then land on this comet while it's flying through space. And the reason that you have to land on this comet is because you need to find out what's inside it. And it is covered in ice because that's what comets are, ice. And so the only way that you can actually get inside it is to melt it. How might you melt a comet in space? There's probably a few ways, but the only way available to you in this game is to wait until it gets close enough to the sun where it begins to naturally melt. And so there's this moment in this game where you decide that you're going to like go and land on this comet, and you fly to it and you make this awkward landing, which is not easy. And then you're literally standing on the front of this comet as it's like careening towards the sun. And you have to basically get inside it as it's just clipping the edge of the sun's orbit. And it takes so long, and it doesn't melt. And you're like, what's going on? This can't be right. Like there must be some other way. I'm doing this incorrectly. It gets closer and closer and closer until like it feels like you're basically about to crash into the sun. And in that moment, the ice just melts, and then you know you can like move through it. And that moment where you're just like staring up at the sun, waiting for it to like consume you, and you're barreling through space at like hundreds of thousands of kilometers an hour, and you realize that the reason you're doing this is to solve some obscure puzzle that it's just a hunch at that point, by the way. Like you don't know that for sure. You're just guessing that maybe this is it. That for me was probably like the most crazy moment that I think I've ever had in a video game. And then when it paid off, I was just like, this is the greatest game I've ever played.
Yeah.
That gave me the willies. That's I get it now. Like that's why. Like wow.
That's just
That's
one
incredible.
moment. That's one moment, and in a game full of moments like that. And that's just like that's just one, you know. So yeah, that's your reading for tonight, class. Outer Wilds. Always bring it back there eventually.
Yep.
Always bring it back there. So tell me though, Luce.
tough one.
Speaking of more chill games, you've been playing some Pokopia.
I have. As someone who doesn't give a solitary shit about Pokemon, I've been really enjoying Pokopia.
He sold you on it too, huh?
Yeah, he did. God damn it. No, I was playing it, and yeah, wow, just what a lovely, strange game. I think the localization in it is fantastic. Like the writing in it is unbelievably
Every
good.
Pokemon's like, "Yo, what's up?" Like every single
What's going
Pokemon.
on?
How you doing?
Yo.
Hey, what's going on? Yo. Yeah, I love how it's just I finished like Pokemon Red like back in the day. I think that's the only one that I've ever actually finished.
Right.
I would buy them, but I would never ever finish them. And there was just always something about the core gameplay of Pokemon that I would always just drop off after, the 10, 20 hours of it. I think the last one that I really got into would be Sword Shield, and that my arm was twisted because it was based on the UK. But even then, it was like, Sword Shield, yeah.
Okay.
I know.
How would you know? Yeah, okay.
Well, because is it XY that's based on France? There's one that's based on Hawaii. There's
Right, okay.
They take like different touch points for each kind of big iteration.
What was Red and Blue based on?
What is what? Red and blue? I don't know.
Yeah,
Red
what
and
the
Blue, I don't know.
like nothing.
Like Japanese countryside.
Japan?
maybe?
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
But I was a kid in the 90s, and I grew up with that first generation of Pokemon. There was zero escape from it. And that, like, those sounds from Red and Blue of the Pokemon when they say their name or whatever, it's like a horrible electronic sound. Just there is something that I will always have a softness towards Pokemon, particularly that generation. And so when I was picking up Pokopia for the first time, and it's like, oh my god, there's the cute little Squirtle, and there's the Charmander, and there's the Jelly. Yeah, but and so I don't know, I just felt an immediate kind of softness toward it.
Yeah, I agree
and then
with
it
that.
turns out that all of the mechanics just really, like, I enjoy a life sim. I enjoy a farming simulator. I used to play Minecraft when it was big. I played Animal Crossing, but I would never call myself a diehard of any of those genres. And I think what Pokopia does that's so special is that it takes from all of them. There are some awkward bits. It hasn't like fully refined the formula, but it just makes it so manageable. And the framing around it is like leaves just enough questions. The exploration, like getting in. Oh, when I found the cave for the first time, like where the Onyx was, I was like, oh my god, everything's coming up here, and like figuring out the different ways to use the abilities that you get because you're the world's worst Ditto. It's just, I don't know, it's just been a really kind of rewarding, like a slow thing that I've been playing, while we're watching TV or something of an evening. Like we'll watch Vanderpump Rules as a group, and I'm just like plotting away on my little Pokopias.
I have a question.
Nice.
Is this the type of game I can pop in and out of while I'm like maybe chipping away through a bigger game?
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah.
Just like
absolutely.
do literally like 5 minutes of something, and then like, all right, I'm doing something else now. It's so bite-sized. It's not
like Crimson Desert where if I skip it for a week, I'm like, fuck, I can't remember the controls.
That's right.
No,
what do I do?
How do I jump in this game?
It has a really good, I mean, you have a Pokedex, you can talk to the Pokemon and they can just tell you, like gently point you towards where you need to go. There's a bunch of bigger picture things for you to do, like repair a Poke Center.
Yeah.
And so that'll take you a while, but incrementally you can just like, oh, Bulbasaur wants a toy. I'll go
make him a
one
toy
for him.
You go, Bulbasaur.
I will go make Charmander's habitat a bit nicer. Maybe I'll make a bed for him.
Yep.
Do you guys have a favorite Gen 1 starter Pokemon of the three?
I never cared. I was never into it.
Damn.
It's either Charmander or Squirtle.
Bulbasaur for me.
Even as someone as I like, I don't give a shit about Pokemon. I never finished any of the games. I only played like little bits of Gen 1 or whatever. And like, even I was finding myself being like, oh, there's Squirtle. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, that's cool. He looks great. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. I know this one's. And I'll see a Pokemon and be like, oh, I think its name's Pidgey. Is that it? And then it comes up and it's like, it's Pidgey. I'm like, yes, I fucking knew it, man. It's Pidgey. Let's go.
Who's that Pokemon? You're literally doing the thing.
Who's that Pokemon myself?
Well, the thing is as well is that there are Pokemon in there as well. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it feels like they're weighing it, at least from what I played so far, is that like they're weighing it more on the Gen 1.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
Nostalgia.
That's good.
And so for me, it's like, okay, that's in love with that.
Yeah.
Does it have a lot of the new weird Pokemon that are just, it's like, it's garbage cano or whatever?
Well, you do have like that Professor Tangrowth or whatever, which I've been told is an evolution of another Pokemon. But I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
But no, I've been playing that.
I'm just about to roll credits on it. The only reason I haven't rolled credits is because I just got consumed by Crimson Desert.
Yeah.
But I'm just about to roll credits on the last little bit, and it's just been so good. I loved it so much. It's definitely my game of the year list, man. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
really good.
It's a really great video game. I wouldn't be surprised
pleasant.
if it's an actual like game of the year nominee at the end of the year. Like I believe that, I think everyone who's picked it up plays it and they're like, whoa, this is actually wonderful,
Easy,
Yeah.
man.
So-
We don't know
now
how.
I take it back when I mocked Jordan Midler for putting like 120 hours into it in the review period.
No,
'cause he was right.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
He was right.
Yeah.
He was right to do it.
That's it.
In terms of games, I played a bit of Screamer,
Mm.
which so far my first impression is it's pretty damn cool. For those of you that don't know, Screamer it was technically an old racing game, I believe from like 1995, and it was one of the first that kind of had a little style to it, had a little sauce to it, and so this new Screamer is a revival, and it's completely different, but it is over the top. It is an arcade racer. And it is anime inspired. So essentially, you're racing your way through an anime. You're racing cars in a kind of cyberpunk world, and in between you're getting good animated anime cutscenes. You're getting little like text conversations, and the presentation's insane. The music rips. The environments are insane. The sense of speed is really good. The UI, the flashy effects. It's just like, what the hell? Where'd this game come from? That's honestly been my reaction so far.
You know who it came from, Jake?
That, who did it come from?
Milestone. Do you know what they made?
Off the top of my head, no.
The Hot Wheels games.
Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, there we go.
That
okay,
is why these games absolutely rip. Well, this game absolutely ripped, because those games were like amazing. They also worked on MotoGP before this, which I also remember playing MotoGP back in the day on the original Xbox, and I was like, damn, why is this so good? I really like this for some reason.
Yeah.
And then the same thing happened with the Hot Wheels games, which were fantastic. And now there's this, and I hadn't really planned on playing it now, but now that I've seen the reviews and hearing what everyone's saying about it, I'm like, okay, I think I've missed the boat here. Like, I really want to go back and check this out, because this actually looks fantastic.
It's got a lot of
Troy Baker in.
He's in lots of things.
He's in a lot. I don't know, but it's got a lot of talking. Like it's definitely got a lot of conversation stuff, but character designs, a little bit. Okay. But again, it's first impression, so it's like a lot of onboarding. But character designs are really cool.
A little bit of gameplay. Is that what it is, Jake?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
He is in it. I knew it. I remember seeing a press release about it.
Character designs are really cool, and also they're all like kind of international. And because it's a cyberpunk future, they all have chips installed where they can like understand other people's languages, like auto translate. But you're just getting subtitles, and you're getting people speaking in German and French. So it's just like an interesting way of doing it. And the racing is really cool. It's very arcadey, but the drifting is controlled independently from steering. Steering is left stick. Initiating a drift is tilting the right stick. And you can essentially...
Oh, I see. I'm watching some gameplay now. I see it.
Yeah, right. You can kind of also do both at the same time. Like, you can kind of counter steer, and like there's also so like, you know how you would shift in a vehicle, right? Like you would shift the transmission. It's kind of like active reload for Gears of War. So it's like right when you get to that red line, and if you hit shift at the right time, you get a little speed boost. But it's casual shifting. It's like it's not like, Gran Turismo where you have to understand manual transmission. Yeah. It's like a fun arcadey way. And essentially you're building up a meter, and you're spending that meter on either special boosts, a kind of charge forward move to like hit enemies, or activate a shield if someone's trying to come up behind you and ram you. I'm just really impressed so far. My first impressions are like, holy shit, why is this game coming out this week? And I completely forgot about it. I remember when they announced it, and I said, that looks pretty up my alley. As someone who loved like Auto Modelista and like, all these like weird games. And also it's like a pretty good suite. So not only does it give you this campaign, right? You can bounce out of the campaign, you can customize the cars, but then you can also engage in online multiplayer, some other mode I haven't really experimented with, and a full-featured arcade mode where you can run races, you can customize the difficulty, you can customize the race parameters. So it's like a full suite. Like it's a full-ass game. And so far, it's pretty cool. I was like playing it with the surround sound up, and like the music's like bumping. And I'm looking forward to getting back to playing more.
Nice. Yeah, it looks really great, actually. I do plan to check it out now that I've seen all these like reviews and stuff, because I got emails about it before, and I'm like, it doesn't really look like my jam. I actually didn't know that it was Milestone behind it. Otherwise, I would have definitely paid a lot more attention. And yeah, man, it's looks cool.
It's cool. The style kind of reminds me of a mix between just like a regular old anime and Dispatch. Like it's kind of got that color palette, character design feel to it, energy to it. Yeah, so that's Screamer. What else games we got? Luce, you got something else?
I got two quick things. So I've been played a little game called Oh Me Oh My AI.
Okay.
Which is like a desktop game, like an interface game. a while ago. So it's basically, you know, when you are doing those little catchkas, you know, like to prove that you're not a robot. So it's basically a whole game of those.
Wow, that
but
sounds
it's also,
wonderful.
But it's also
sell
like
it, Lucy.
Sort of a little bit more of like an ARG, like, oh, why is this interface going crazy? Like you're just supposed to be doing these. And so the thing is that I think the ARG, like, that's part of it. Is like a defunct website that you are going through. It's like really well done and really fun and interesting. And I wanted to get to the bottom of it, but God help me, I couldn't look at another picture of a dog and select it. I was like, I felt like that was a bit too limiting. So I'm good ideas in there. It just wasn't necessarily enough to keep me fully invested in it. But I played that.
How did you find this one? Because this came out in January, and it's only got a couple of user reviews.
They emailed me and said, like, hey, we noticed you like this thing. It's like I do read my emails even if I do not respond to every single one of them. Nice. I get many. But yeah, it like piqued my interest a little bit. So I'm glad I tried it out. But yeah, I didn't stick with it to the end. Esoteric Ebb is the next one I'm gonna be playing. Yeah. I think I said that last time, but this time I'm and then I've actually for day job at GameSpot, I've been playing The Sims again.
Oh boy.
I want to hear about this because you've never really spoken at length about The Sims, I don't think.
You are a big Sims person.
So that's the thing, is that The Sims, I think, of all the games ever that I've ever played, The Sims will be easily the one I have the most time in across 1, 2, 3, 4. Thousands of hours. I've always loved The Sims. The Sims 4 has been a really interesting one to watch. I'm not going to go through the whole timeline of it. But obviously it came out in 2014. It was not what anyone would call a complete product. Like obviously you have to have a base game. You can't have everything in there. You can't, immediately have a full stock of Sims 3 expansion packs and open the Sims 4 base game and it immediately have the same thing. That's not how The Sims works. The Sims has always had expansion packs to increase the life cycle of that game. Sims 4 launched bare bones. Like toddlers were missing, pools were missing, like very, very simple things, things that you would associate with base game Sims were
I didn't
all
know
gone.
that. Wow.
Oh, it was
Jesus.
a clusterfuck when it came out. It felt pretty soulless. But over time, I would say that Maxis has done a really good job of frequent updates. They have made a lot of consciously been changing base game, like adding pools in, adding things to base game, and now it is free to play. That's the good thing they've done. The bad thing they've done is they have like over 20 expansion packs, over 40 kits, like 20 something stuff packs. Like the amount of things you can buy for The Sims 4 is frankly ridiculous. Sims has always had a very strong modding community, and custom content has always been like, like The Sims OG, if you got like the one, like the deluxe edition, for example, it came with Create a Sim, like a separate program where you could basically draw on and create your own Sims and then import them straight into the game. There's always been mods, there's always been custom content. A couple years ago, Sims 4 team tried to stop people from putting that behind a Patreon. So a lot of Sims 4 creators, and like that's the thing, we have had issues where like the Sims skin colors were not as inclusive as they should have been, and so it was up to modders who made those, and like they put them out in the game, and then the other thing that The Sims 4 doesn't have is swatches. That's a big deal. Like they're very, very limited in terms of like customization options for different color palettes. So modding for Sims 4 was like a really big deal because people would just make those swatches and put them out. So a couple of years ago, Sims 4 tried to stop people from putting that behind a Patreon, and they changed the rules a bit. Like you couldn't even, the rules was that you could have it for early access in a Patreon, but it had to be free eventually. Like, and then they tried to stop that and tried to stop paywalling altogether. So now what they've done, they had a lot of people leave, like all their creator programs, a lot of the big proponents of The Sims 4 left in September last year with the news of the proposed leverage buyout with the Saudis and Affinity Partners. Now what they've done is they've introduced a marketplace with an in-game currency, and it's gone down like an absolute sack of shit. Like
Sims Creator Club, right?
The maker program.
Okay, sure. Because Todd already nabbed the creation club thing, so they need a new one.
One of the big issues is like obviously people don't want another in-game. They don't want in-game currency, especially one that you can't earn at all through gameplay. The other thing is that if you are a maker and you're accepted into the maker program, you get to say how many things you want to put in your maker pack, your maker kit that you put up. You get to say how much it's going to cost, and your split is 30-70.
You take 30, they take 70.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
We're like, what are we, 60-40 on YouTube? 60-40 our way?
I think so.
Yeah,
Is it bad? I don't know off the top of my head.
I think it's like 60-40. It's just, I only thought about it at the start of my YouTube career like 10 years ago, and I haven't had to think about it since, purely because like it's never going to change. I can't do anything about it. So I just kind of like, just park that number. I think it's 60-40. Yeah. But 70-30 does sound like a bit of a piss take, especially because like, I don't know, it just feels like it shouldn't be that for that kind of game. Like it's like a 12. It's like a 12. How old is 12 years now? How old does this game?
12 years. 2014 it came out. So the thing is as well is there have been people who were as part of the maker program who were saying that like, you know, this isn't right. They were deliberately pushing for people who, if you were like less financially off, they were trying to incentivize you to be a part of this program. And then the classic happened. So a lot of people these days, because the Sims is very buggy and like people have been requesting features for years that they've never put in. So of course, as soon as they launch the marketplace, they update the game and everyone's mods broke. Like to the point where people couldn't even launch the game. Like it was so broken for a couple days. So it's really just been like kind of a clusterfuck. And yeah. So I was playing The Sims today, like capturing gameplay of like Sims 1 and 2 and 4. Just to kind of go back and see like the differences between, you know, what we had 25 years ago and what we got now.
We've come so far. Like
what we lost.
What we had.
the free mods back in the day, they were so cool. Sims 1, I was like modding it to like have movie posters in my house. So I had like the Matrix movie posters and shit. And then like seeing the brand to go through all these weird like, you know, trying to adapt it to console and having like busting out and then doing weird spin-offs with like the herbs and stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
The herbs Sims in the city. Well, I will say, speaking of console, one of the reasons that this marketplace exists is because modding on console finally works, but only through, I believe, this marketplace. Whereas on the PC, it is free fucking reign. You know, there are so many, like if you go to Sims Resource or Nexus or wherever, like you can get so many mods. And there are multiple mods that will just make your game better and, you know, introduce gameplay mechanics that the Sims team has not put in there. So for me, it's weird because like I will dip in when there is a big new expansion pack, particularly, you know, like when Cottage Living came out and I got the new one, the Royal Dynasty one. It's like I'm interested in that, but I'm not playing it all the time. But the last 6 months to a year, there has been such a shift in how people are engaging with The Sims. It's all of its big proponents and core creators are leaving it behind. But that's not what Maxis needs. Like there is no Sims 5 immediately on the horizon. They are still tooling around with Project Renee and whatever. But you know, there is not a Sims 5. They need Sims 4 to keep being live service. And I would say that the marketplace has been a huge misstep. There is a very vocal audience for The Sims. Yeah, and as it is, you know, the most inclusive game probably out there, they're all a bit worried about what potentially new ownership will do to this place that they have called home for over a decade. So yeah, it's been, I will say there are two subreddits that I've really been enjoying. There's low sodium Sims and high sodium Sims.
All right.
And for the last 2 weeks, honestly, they've kind of been interchangeable.
Really? Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
It's like everyone disliked that. So yeah, that's the Sims drama.
Back in my day, they had the sex one, and I wasn't allowed to get that
Wicked
one.
Whims. Oh, that's the mod.
Hot Date.
Hot Date. I remember Hot Date. Yeah, I remember that.
I wasn't allowed to get that.
It wasn't really sexy. It was just like little cafes and shit.
But it was just what the cover
implied. If you want sex mods,
I'm sure they got them.
Oh, Wicked Whims, yeah.
Nice.
I've heard.
All right.
Gonna set my VPN to New Zealand. Get on that one.
There you go.
No,
Australians will get that joke, unfortunately,
Oh.
because we can't access anything now. It's like everything's banned over here, so everyone has a VPN installed now.
Use code friends at checkout.
This guy's friend, we got to get a VPN sponsor. I got Surfshark on Skill Up. We got to get one for.
I actually genuinely use Surfshark.
No, me too. I literally
I use it to watch all my BBC shows.
I can never actually turn it off now. I mean, not never, of course. I mean, I don't actually. No, I don't use VPN. I don't need it.
Oh my god.
What?
Did you deliberately wait until I had a big fucking water in my mouth? Okay.
Let's
Speaking
move
of
on.
VPNs,
What do we
let's
got?
move on
Anything
to
else? Any other video game
show
chat?
and tell.
Any other video game
I
chat?
got nothing.
Nope. Show and tell.
I know
A lot
that.
of things have like an embargo.
I would say
next
just
week.
briefly, Saros previews went up this week.
Oh
And
yeah.
I've seen Austin's preview because I was at GDC when the preview was happening. He went to Japan for it. I watched the video. It looks fucking cool. It looks like Returnal 2. But they're not calling it Returnal 2. They're calling it like a Returnal spiritual successor. And I'm like, I don't know that you can call this a spiritual successor, man. It's like a sequel with a different name. Like this is Sarah. This is like Returnal 2, but with a different name. So anyway, it looks really cool though. Rahul Kohli, he looks like he's given a fantastic performance. The action just looks sick. The setting, everything about it just looks super good. So I'm really pumped for that actually. Like I just think I really
I'm
love
excited
Returnal.
for the
So
story.
I'm super excited for the next one.
I'm excited because like I feel like Housemarque did a good job with this story for Returnal, and I feel like they could have done more. And like it's cool that it seems like they're leaning into that.
Well, that was one of the points of criticism that Austin had in terms of like it's very heavy-handed, the storytelling here, and he kind of liked, as I did, I liked the more subtle storytelling that they had with Returnal with Celine, whereas this seems to be a much more traditional narrative model with like, you know, characters and cutscenes and just like that thing, you know. So it could work, but also maybe not. Who knows? We'll see. But definitely the gameplay side of it's already delivering, and it's also much more forgiving. There's all these sort of interventions that make it much easier to like, you know, progress without having to experience the punishing version of like Returnal 1.0, which I loved, but a lot of people just found it too much, and I totally get it because it was like, it was very it was very challenging if you were not in that moment where you could do that thing and progress and you had the time set aside. You couldn't even like pause your runs before that. There was like, if you put your PS5 to sleep or some shit.
You couldn't suspend your system.
You couldn't
the
suspend it.
first
Yeah, I remember
version
that.
was rough.
Yeah, it was really rough at the start. So they did fix that a little bit. But
there's co-op now too, right? In Returnal 1?
Was there? I didn't know
There was a
that.
co-op mod.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So.
Maybe, yeah.
I'm going to Google that.
So anyway, it looks really cool. And
Yes, there is.
that's it. I'm looking. What's ahead? I'm thinking the next little while is a bit quiet on the release front. Am I wrong about this?
April's got some things I'm excited about.
Pragmata.
Pragmata.
Pragmata. Pragmata. That's true. That's on the 17th, though.
Dude, it's not long till the 17th.
No, I mean you're right.
Like
It's
2
true.
weeks.
You're right. Saros
Let
is
me
on
check
the
out GameRanks' top 10 new games of April 2026.
Then
Samson.
Darwin's Paradox.
Yeah, the
octopus
octopus game looks good.
Yep.
Samson, I'm still curious about that weird little experiment. The Jesus game, I Am Jesus Christ, is coming
Absolutely.
out. As a scholar of the Bible, I'm very excited to see how that is.
As a Catholic, for sure.
Is that how you're spending
No, definitely not.
Easter weekend?
Mouse PI for Hire. I'm really excited. As a cartoon guy, I'm really into that one.
Masters of Albion.
Peter Monaloo's Masters of Albion.
That's right.
How are you saying his name?
How are you saying his name though, my friend?
Peter Monaloo?
Peter Monaloo.
Monaloo.
Masters
Peter
of Albion.
Molyneux.
Again, he's done scams and he's done shit in the past. I don't know. Why not? I'm down
Did you
for
not
one last
enjoy the
ride.
cube?
Was that the
a lot of
NFT
people
thing he
did.
did or not? I can't remember.
Yeah.
No, the cube
that
was
was the
the
other
one where it
thing.
was just the cube, and then you just like hit and you chipped away at it, and then in the middle was supposed to be £10,000, and like you were in his next game or something. And I think that guy never actually got that money.
Yeah.
I would not.
It
I
was
think
surprising.
people make games made a video
Allegedly.
about it.
Allegedly.
Also, Replaced.
Yes.
And
Oh, finally, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know
So
what?
It's busy for me.
Starfield is also getting its updates on the 7th of April.
Yeah, there's a free one and there's a content, like a DLC content where you fight evil robots.
My plan
fight
is
Todd Howard.
My plan is to play Crimson Desert until credits, which I imagine is in like another 30 hours. Then I'm going to play Marathon. I'm going to play the shit out of it and like hit max level and do Cryo Archives, which I imagine is going to take me like 50 to 80 hours kind of thing. And then I'm going to play Starfield for the first time next month. So not played it before. Right. So did you play it loose?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you like it? Okay, Jake, did you play / like it? You played it.
I thought it was decent.
Okay.
I thought I thought it was pretty all right. But it kind of has the gray man effect where I haven't thought about it since.
Right. Okay. Sure. Really. You're going.
Love Greg Miller. Godson to his child.
Godmother.
Former roommate. Godmother to his child. Thank you. He's played that game like 6 times.
Okay, cool.
I don't.
It just hits with certain people. That
it just really has hit with him.
There's definitely a subcategory of people where it just really hits right and they love it. Yeah, I'm interested to check it out. I've just never got the chance back then, so I'm gonna wait. Now these updates look quite promising, to be honest with you. They add some stuff that feels like it should have been in the game from the jump. In terms of like free travel through space and all that sort of shit. Plus, there'll be 2 narrative expansions now. There's Shattered Space and this other one. Was it Terran something or other? I don't know. But yeah, I'm interested to finally have a look.
It's funny if you go look at like public sentiment, right? DLSS 5. We've all been talking about that. Oh my God, it made Grace's face look bad.
It did.
It's a Gen AI filter, all that. Like, great. What'd they do to Grace? What'd they do to this? And then Starfield comes along, and people are like, actually, maybe it made those NPCs look a little better.
A little bit better.
And you go on like the Starfield subreddit, and like some of those people are like, oh, this is awesome.
I was gonna say,
I think it was the same.
It's like a real heartbreaking, the worst person, makes a good point.
I think also the FIFA crowd. I think people saw the FIFA faces because
the FIFA ones didn't look so bad because it's off a real person.
It's off a real person. It's less stylized, and it's not really going for an art style, so it kind of worked.
I thought the Hogwarts Legacy ones were the worst.
Oh, the Hogwarts, I totally agree. They were bad. They were extremely bad.
From boy to adult man, like when they showed the little wizard boy.
Fucking weird, man. Yeah. They really need to swing back around on that tech and figure out what they're going to do with it. Like, how they're going to use it, how they're going to showcase it. Like, they need to put it, because I think that it sounds like NVIDIA made those showcases rather than the actual studios. So I feel like they need to give the studios the tools and then let the studios show what they can do with it, rather than just like NVIDIA brute force something through that looks like the yassified face filter. Like, it was bad. It was bad. Yeah. Anyway, anything else?
Show and tell.
Show and tell.
Oh boy, you got
anything, Ralph? Well, the thing is, right, because I had GDC. I came back. My office flooded. I've just been working the entire time since then to rebuild my office in my house and play Crimson Desert nonstop. I mean, I haven't consumed anything since GDC. Like, we talked on the plane ride about like me watching Free Solo. That was the last video, like whatever. Like, just genuinely nothing else. Except I think before I left, I watched Blade 2. I don't know if I talked about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was the Guillermo del Toro one, and it was fantastic. Love it. And I'm looking forward to Blade Trinity, which I'm sure is going to be just as good as the first 2, So I'll let you know how that goes. But one of the downsides actually of my office being flooded is that I do like a movie night with my friend like every 2 weeks kind of thing. Yeah. And that's where we do the movie night. And there's nowhere else to watch movies. So movie night is on hiatus until such time as, we fix the office. But we are seeing Project Hail Mary next week. We're going outside to the IMAX to check it out. Yeah. And,
I hear it's good.
I hear
the movie is very good.
I hear it's great. I don't like Ryan Gosling's hair in this movie. There's just something about it. I feel like he's doing a thing where he's trying to make him, he's probably like 50 years old. And I think it's like he's doing hair that tries to make him look like he's like 30.
The Paul McCartney effect.
I don't know what it is, man. There's just something about it that doesn't quite work for me.
You got to be careful.
Too swoopy.
As
you age, you got to be careful, man.
You got to just let the hair do its thing. Do you know what I mean? And he's not letting it do its thing. He's just fighting it. So, not a fan. Yeah. Anyway, that's my.
I saw one thing. I saw 28 years later, the Bone Temple.
How is it?
It's not as good as the other new 28 years later.
Okay.
But it's interesting. It just feels really short, and it feels almost kind of like a filler episode almost, in a way. It's short, and it kind of just moves some things along, and then it ends setting up another one.
Because that third one's supposed to have Cillian Murphy in.
So
right?
they set him up in this one, and I'm not spoiling it, but I was like, oh, that's it? That's what they're doing with him? Maybe I put a lot of expectations on it myself, but I expected, like, the world and the filmmaking craft of, like, these 28 movies would do something kind of creative with bringing him back. I don't know. I just expected something weird, and it's very straightforward. But I will say that this movie, I'm a Ray Fiennes enjoyer. Huge fan of that man. This movie has probably the best certified Fiennes moment. Like,
No way.
incredible.
Ooh.
Like,
Okay.
probably one of the zaniest, coolest, weirdest things he's done.
He's so good, man.
That I just enjoyed so much, and I was like, this is worth the price of admission.
All right.
I loved it. It was just
Excellent.
one good scene.
Okay.
One really good
Hell
scene.
yeah.
I do love
That's all
him.
I'll
He's
say.
great. He's fantastic.
He really is.
He was so good in 28 Years Later.
Yeah. Cool. What do you got, Luce?
Anybody?
Me? Okay, well, I watched the Louis Theroux Manosphere documentary.
Yeah. Okay. Is it
What
just
the
like
hell?
what
What?
you expect? Like he just puts this like a microphone
He
in front of
just-
the
he just
craziest
lets
people
them-
ever. Just sure.
He just lets them talk. Like, it's... Yeah, I mean, it's made me want to go back and, like, really watch some of his old Weird Weekends. Because obviously being British, I grew up with them, and he was such an inspiration. Like, I love making little documentary style things where I can and talking to people. I would say I'm maybe hopefully a little less awkward than Louis, but I think that awkwardness really plays into it's very disarming, I think, when he is talking to these people who are characters. So the Manosphere doc is another good one for him. Speaking of characters, neither of you have watched Neighbours.
Wait, hold on.
Not the Australian soap.
Are you talking about the...
It's on HBO A24.
No, don't know what it is.
No.
Okay. If I implore you to do anything, please go watch Neighbours.
Okay.
All right,
It
I'll write
is-
it down.
Is just they find neighborly disputes and film both sides
Oh
of it.
my god, that is great.
This is
And
so
it-
you.
No.
This is so...
Like some of them are like we've got people who think aliens are real. There's a guy with vampire teeth. They are characters.
Okay.
I don't know how they found them. There's one episode where these two women are warring over a patch of grass, but then things just happen in it where it's like, whoever produced this, whoever found these people deserves like awards
lot of work.
and praise. Like there's one where like there's this gay couple and they are really against this guy having a farm in his garden. But the couple, like, they have a hot tub in their living room, and there's just like there are these really these really funny cuts where they're like really angry, and then maybe they're in the local kind of town meeting, like complaining about this farm, and then it just hard cuts to them both lying in a hot tub in their carpeted living room.
Oh, man.
Like it is so well made. We were watching it the other night, and it was just like, if you kind of like the How To with John Wilson sort of vibe of just
Okay, got it.
pulling on a thread and just seeing where it goes.
weird.
And some of these episodes, I can't believe where they've gone.
I feel
It's
like you like
fantastic.
any type of content or show that you get to essentially be the Miranda Cosgrove iCarly meme where she's like looking at her computer.
Yes, it's me.
Anything that watches that makes you feel like that.
Yes. So big vouch for Neighbours. Still doing Vanderpump. I'm up to season 7.
I don't know what that
I,
is.
Going well. Oh, no, we need to go to bed before I explain Vanderpump Rules to you.
Okay.
One YouTube channel that I found, and I really want to shout it out
Ooh,
because I
here
think
we
it is
go.
one of the coolest channels I've found in a while. It combines my love of like people who are really good at what they do, incredible cinematography, interior design and decoration. It's called Polygons. Gones, French.
Okay.
All his videos are in French. Some of them are dubbed, but otherwise, like, I just use the YouTube translate thing. This guy, just like, he can do everything. We watched him make a sink. Like, he renovated his whole bathroom. He just built it all, but it's shot at absolutely beautifully. He just like bought a house in the middle of the forest, shot, edited beautifully. He can do everything. He does electronics. He does like he used to kind of be one of those kind of maker people on YouTube who just makes like, I don't know, like hacks into shit and whatever. He can do wiring electronics. He can do plumbing. He lays his own. He built his own fucking kitchen.
Sorry,
it's incredible.
I just tried to search Paulie Gonis, and all I'm getting is Paulie Walnut's videos from Sopranos. Straight away, this
like right this way, sir. Right this way, sir. We know what you meant. Yeah.
Commendatore.
His thumbnails are really good. I like it. This looks like quality.
His videos. Watch his videos. They are so.
How do you spell it? P-A is Paul I-E or Paul Y?
Paul Y.
Paul Y.
Over the Y, and then
one word.
G-O-N-E-S.
You know, like the bird from the hit film Paulie.
Got it.
That definitely activated something for somebody out there. Anyway.
Okay.
But he's wow. Yeah.
Good
Very, very
recommendation.
good.
Well, I'm sure you're only watching this for the renovations, Lucy. I'm sure.
An attractive man, okay.
Okay, yeah. You failed to mention that part. Failed to mention that part of it, huh, Luce? Left that little tidbit out.
Because I just think he's very talented.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Hey, Ralph.
There you go.
But he's incredible.
Subscribe to.
He also he's got really good taste, which is the most infuriating thing. Like, there needs to be something wrong with this man.
Yeah, sure.
Let's get him on the show and make him make a gamer room, like a real Reddit battle station, if you will. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, r/battle stations.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's how he wants to spend his time, Jake, with gamers.
Definitely. Wouldn't anybody? Come on.
Hey, he's got actually
That's why
this video I clicked on in his basement has like an RGB ceiling, so maybe he is a gamer. Now I'm looking at it.
Yeah, you never know.
I think he has a gaming PC.
There you go. See, perfect.
Nice. There you go. There's your in.
There you go.
Nice. All right.
He's in France.
He's in France. Well,
Bonsoir, everybody. Thank you for listening.
We've got Zoom calls, Zoom meetings. It's all good.
They're okay. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think that about wraps it up for us. Thank you, folks, for listening. We always appreciate you guys sticking with us for this long. If you got anything for us, be sure to leave it in comments or in, podcast ratings, anything like that. Thanks to the sponsors. Thanks if you check those out. I'm Jake Baldino. That's Lucy James. That is Skill Up. Thank you guys very much for watching. Tie your shoes and go to bed.